when somebody at work found some papers and had an interesting read.
Well, what I would say from Shadrach's perspective, what was given? Well, there was a conversation about what Pick had asked for, and Sean's character was the Nemmenorial, and he asked, so you don't really know what he asked necessarily, other than he was called back to whence he came. And Daryl's character, I don't know if that was ever revealed what he asked for, at least not in a way that was necessarily obvious to the other characters.
Yeah, I'm not like trying to like dig information out of people or nothing. So.
And you received what you asked for, and I think that was it.
Ah, yes, the spell crap on it. Yes. Excellent.
Yes, we gotta quit drinking when we game.
I know. The only damn thing I do. I've been busting my ass so bad here lately to keep this place afloat with my stupid roommate. All I do is work, and then this is my good day. So I kind of like everything goes pow.
So, in your job, is that something that you do from home, or do you have to go into the office?
I could do it from home, but I choose to go to my job because it's right up the road. I can walk to work in 15 minutes. So I get exercise, and it's in the middle of the night, and if I was at home doing it, then that'd be a bad thing for me because then I'd be laying around in my underwear drinking.
I see.
I don't want to do that.
I was just saying, like, could you have the same job if you were in Minnesota?
No, we have to be close to the hub.
Okay.
We can't just be spread out anywhere, no.
And during COVID, were you allowed to stay home, or you still had to go in?
You can work. Well, a lot of people are still right now. The place is like half empty as far as people, but still those people are working, but they're just not there.
Right on.
I like going there because I see people, I talk to people. If I was cooped up in here all the time on that job, I'd go insane. No. It's a very stressful job as far as there's a lot of emotional and psychological garbage that you just can't help but get on as far as what you hear and stuff like that. And they don't really acknowledge that, and I think that they should. I told them they need a screaming room. And sometimes when you get off those calls, you gotta just go into a closet and scream. So I hear people unfiltered. I literally listen to people's phone calls.
So while we're waiting to start, if anyone wants to chime in, but I'm gonna ask this anyway. So, in the way the last adventure led up to the big boss fight in the dungeon, do you think that you were given enough information to where you probably could have gone there earlier than what you did, or do you think you had to be pushed in that direction?
I think we could have gone in there a lot sooner, but we weren't sure. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to die into some death trap. But I was sure that first time we went down in that little room where they smelled death, I knew right then that was the place. I was sure. But I couldn't really prove it. Yeah, you know, we didn't have our weapons and casting spells inside the monastery, so. But I was for sure that that's where it was. It was just well hidden. We just couldn't find it. It's like video games you play where you know where the thing is, you just can't get to it because you have to do other things. So.
Yeah, that is the thing. I've encountered a couple video games where it's like, I know the son of a bitch is right over there, but how the hell we get over there?
I mean, I think of Metroid. First time I played Metroid, I knew where stuff was, but you couldn't get to it without doing other things. So yeah, you had to do things in sequence, even though you knew. Like, I should be able to just walk right in there. Nope, you have to do a certain thing. I mean, Zonnegan could have killed him.
Does it, Did you ever put together the fact that that was Zonnegan that was appearing in the flames in the courtyard? Or should I say Bazanagan?
That I was never sure which was which. I wasn't really sure who the bad guy was, and it's kind of interesting that it was a fusion of both of them. So. But I thought that in the end, before we had the big fight, I thought that Zahn was controlling Zonnegan to cast the illusion or make us turn against each other. And that was my final, I was like, okay, well, I was pretty sure that Zonnegan was the one that was like controlling our mind. So that was my other big get.
One other thing that was that I'm sure was too subtle. You guys probably didn't put this together, but do you remember when you went and to meet Latonius down by the stream, and he was talking about how the Kyrin was killing a bunch of families and like he was evil and was doing a bunch of murders down there? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So, as far as Latonius was concerned, the murders that the Kyrin was doing was the offspring of the Zonnegan that were, and you'll notice the Kyrin had later said that he was going to take care of all the remaining little creatures, so Latonius wasn't actually lying, but I didn't want to just be like, oh, and that's my family. So.
Well, I assumed he was lying because I assumed that he was. I didn't think of the offspring as being the children. I would think straight humans that are living in a village. So I didn't put those two together at all.
I only put it together after the Kyrin said what it was going to do, and then I was like, aha.
So that was just a little subtle thing I just wanted to throw in there and just for fun, see if anybody get it. If you would have put that together, I'd have been like, so. But, you know, usually the fucking people that are really committed to something, they think that they're doing the right thing, even if it turns out to be totally evil. It's like, well, yeah, but it's the right thing, so it's not evil. Ha. Oh.
That's how a person's definition of lawful evil can be. You think you're doing good, but you're not. You can think you're doing good, but you're doing good.
Well, even chaotic evil could think they're doing good. It's like, this is the only way our Earth can be reborn is by killing half the universe. It's like, well, that's pretty much against most people's laws.
Had a code, so that's not chaotic. He had a code. So he was neutral, if anything. Neutral evil is worse than chaotic. Chaotic evil is just nuts. That's just Texas Chainsaw Massacre evil. Neutral evil is the one who sit down and think about it real hard and go, yeah, if I killed this many babies, I'll raise this up to feed all our people with corn. That's neutral evil. Calculated evil. Neutral evil. Diabolical evil.
You guys are going to have to fight the Mesopotamian fruit fly in this episode.
Batavian fruit fly? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, that's funny, Tom. There's one of the first, on one of those ancient cuneiform tablets, I just read this the other day. One of the first old proverbs written down was from Sumerian or Mesopotamian that a fly will always find an open mouth.
And I believe it.
Meaning don't talk shit.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I cracked up when I saw that. When you said that, I'm like, what?
All right, you got any other questions about any spells that you have access to? Not at the moment?
Not really. The fact that I have the spellcraft was what I was really was what I was clarifying. And just to be a nag, can I at some point get a peek with my animal license?
Yeah. I know I changed it here. I guess I didn't send it to you. I'll send it to you right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to nag, but I didn't know if you did it or not. But I don't have it. And I know that I sent you that list.
You did.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So let's just check and make sure here.
I know what my next language is going to be. It's going to coincide with my animal form.
Yeah, they're all on there. Okay, so let me close that and do an HTML.
Thank you.
And then we'll do that. And we don't need to see it. We'll come back over here and go to email.
Oh, that reminded me of something else. I called the guy at work a butt wink the other day.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
He was looking at me like, what? It was okay because I know the guy, but he was totally perplexed. It was like, I get surprised.
And then we want to go to desktop.
And put color it in, they add illustrations, and I'm sorry. Make it flash.
Alright, so I'm sending it to your Gmail account.
Alright, thank you. I'm gonna pick it up now.
Alrighty. Better late than never, Internet. This is episode 30 of the World of Skell campaign titled Ghosts. And
I'll be back.
right now we have one person unable to game, and we got two others that are en route. So you may be hearing squeaking from their phone there. And then Jason is at his home in Florida, so but I thought I would start with a recap so far. So the group has lost a couple of members along the way. Some have come back, some have never returned. One was recently left to go back to the large city of port city of Tila on the southwest corner of this continent. And the group that remains has just had a day of celebration in their honor at the Black Rock Abbey up the north of Tila, situated on a hill of this black rock underneath the fertile pasture and lands that have been flooded by the nearby creek and during the flooded rainy seasons. Made excellent pasture and excellent farmland, and it's remote enough away to where the Abbey is in control, was given control of these lands, and it is an abbey that is under the...
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Cobb. Sorry.
Is it from the music or from somebody's car engine?
You're just broken up. I can't hear the music.
You can't hear the music at all. Okay, that's fine.
Well, yeah, I can hear a little bit, but you're broken up. That's all.
So during the celebration, the group was recognized during the morning mass by the abbot Patrick, newly installed, and then they took part in a little walk down the main road, sort of a mini parade, and then the day was filled with games and contests of skill and sort of a festival type atmosphere. The heroes, most of them took part in just being congratulated and patted on the back and merriment. And then before they got to that, however, the druid in the group, Shadrach, was challenged by this old druid known as Old Log, and he challenged him, and Shadrach accepted, and they decided that they were going to have a fight out by the ashes of the smallish wicker man that Shadrach had built and burned a couple days ago. And so as the sun set, they all started to move out into the eastern pasture just outside of the walls of the abbey, or the monastery I should say. And there Old Log and Shadrach had a very brief physical confrontation where Shadrach was able to pick up and throw Old Log into the burning bonfire that had been started there. And the crowd was both happy and horrified at this, but then Old Log walked out of the fire and apparently unharmed by the flames. And if anybody knows some of the granted powers of the Druidic order, that might have been one of them. And then it was revealed that one of Log's assistants was actually Archdruid Woodward Laurels, an old character played 20 years ago, and he had been making his way up the ranks and now has made it to Archdruid, and he has a son that's like 10 years old and apparently really enjoys smoking marijuana or whatever type of weed would make him mellow and happy. And after offering everyone some weed, he congratulated Shadrach and thanked Old Log for his assistance in determining Shadrach's worthiness. And it turns out Old Log was if it wasn't already made clear, he was a Hierophant druid, which means he's outside of the druidic circle. He's like a made man in the mafia. He's gotten out of the bureaucratic structure, but continued to live in the druidic lifestyle. And Hierophants are known to have very long lives and can visit planes that are made up of certain elements. And so he then left, and Woodward took part in the celebration, and then Shadrach was accosted by this young couple who wanted him to perform a marriage ceremony on him, and he did, and they were all happy, and then more merriment until eventually everyone decided to turn in for the evening and go to sleep back in the safety of the walls, except for Shadrach, who decided to remain outside and sleep by the fire and the glowing embers. And that is where we ended our last session. So, Sean has entered the building, so...
I have a question.
Sean has a question.
In the beginning of your recap, did I hear you say somebody went back to Tila? Or did I mishear?
No, Tamar.
Tamar.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. Okay. Never mind then.
So, unless anyone has any corrections, edits, or other things they need to bring up before we begin, then we're all caught up, and you all awaken the following morning, refreshed. Some of you slept better than others, perhaps, but you have the day to... You basically have the rest of your lives to either chase down more slavers or return to the city and return to whatever type of life you want. I think there was some discussion about going to the city to check in with the man, someone who appears to be of a high station with power in the city of Tila. But none of you have left yet. Pick will, since Randy's not here, he'll just hang in the background and do whatever the majority of the group votes to do at any particular time. The only thing that I remember him saying was he might need to find a new place of business for some reason.
He did drop his armor off with the dude to repair it.
Right. So
it'd be a few days.
Right. That's right.
Once I get up and dressed and ready to go, I'd like to go to the crafting area this morning. Anybody care to go along?
I'll go with you.
Okay, that's easily done. And Shadrach, when you get up with the cows and the chickens, what do you do?
I'll wait for the craft area to open up. I'll go down there. I'll roam down there when I think.
So you all casually sort of say, "Hey, what's up?" in the morning, and as the shops begin to open and the light starts to spill over the land before the actual sunrise, you're there, and they're starting to open the crafting area as they're running the last of the sheep out of the protection of the walls and out into the western pasture and the eastern
keep your
pasture.
eyes open for that Tom fella.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's Kettle Tom around?
Would you like to go searching for him, or are you just kind of glancing around?
Keeping our eyes
I'm
out.
glancing around.
I'm looking out for him while I'm at the craft area.
Yeah, but I'm not
I'm
going to go
looking
searching.
for a tailor or seamstress or weaver, somebody that sews clothing.
Which one of you fellows got the necklace of shiny rocks from the festival? Didn't you say we got a necklace of shiny rocks, Cobb?
I did.
Pretty sure
I'm
it's
just
not
curious
me.
if any of you people know how to tell a piece of work for them things.
It was just one of
reason I
the.
asked is-
Hold on. It was just one of the random things that the villagers gave you in gratitude. So
Yeah.
Jason asked me what was in that shit, so I just started naming a bunch of things: spoons,
Yeah.
wooden
You
bowls.
mentioned overcoat. What sort of, is it just a plain canvas overcoat?
It's
Or is it a fancy?
no, it's you got to remember the people that live here. It's
I didn't anticipate
Yeah.
it being fancy. Okay.
The
so
reason I asked about the gems is not for monetary value, but yes, for monetary value, but I have a couple of spells that require me to have, like, ground up rubies and stuff, so I'm looking at it more from that perspective than from, running around with a bag full of goodies. That's not really, so that's what I'm asking about. Just in
Okay.
case there might be a random, and if anybody in the group can identify, stones, I can't. Maybe actually I could.
I could,
I'm not gonna spell, but
no chance of guess, but I'm no appraiser. You need an appraiser, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. I will cast a spell. If I may.
Hey, where'd you tell me?
what?
It will
Oh,
take me 1 round. Detect. Well, I can add, maybe hang on. That's
If I see anybody that might have cloaks for sale,
okay. So as the market, what I have been calling the crafting area, just to give it a more local feel, but it's actually the market. As it opens, you see that there's a tailor there, and they don't really have like a general store. It's pretty much each thing has its own family that makes it. So, tanner, candle maker, and rope maker, and just everything has their family that does that. It's very, I don't want to say harmonious, but it's like the lay of the land precludes their needing multiple suppliers. The only thing that there seems to be more of than just like one or two would be like the fishermen or the farmers or the cheese makers, and everyone kind of brews their own stuff in their own home. Most of the time it's not like with a still and making hard spirits. It's something that can be made a little quicker, so they're jumping up and down in barrels and making mash, that kind of thing. So though the drink is plentiful, you're not going to find, especially here in this community, the harder stuff. And because there's grapes and berries, they can get away with, and peaches, so they can make the wine, but it's not gonna, they don't drink a lot of wine. Most of it goes for services or religious needs, but every family is going to have some. So you can get some wine, you're just not going to be able to buy enough from here to supply your own inn or whatever. If, this is a very country, and imagine, House Springs when we were kids, 1960s, when
flea market.
they had a pool in this town at one point. That's how long ago, and there were no highways that came through. It was all US 30. So, it took forever to get somewhere, but you didn't really care, because even then you were like, look at that road go. All right. So, but you do find someone who can make, you ask and you're directed over to the tailor, so they can make things here for you. So,
Do they have good cloth? I'm sure their skills are adequate, but I would like a good cloth cloak. I had to cut mine up for bandages.
you can certainly get one, and make me a charisma check at advantage because you all have local hero status.
Woo! Nice, thought about that.
And even though I've never said this before, you guys, just for clarity's sake, somebody asked a while back about if the initial reaction and if I should be adding that into the rolls. Well, that was if you were rolling 2d10 because those numbers, the 2d10 wasn't based on your charisma. That was just a 2d10. If I have you roll a charisma check, that actually takes into account your charisma score, and so the initial reaction number really doesn't, it's just a holdover, you know, from first. So what I've done is just made things easier. So anyway, go ahead, Daryl, roll with advantage, please.
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, explode! Explode! Okay, so your total is 21 plus
15.
for 36.
37. 36.
Okay, so almost 40.
Last time we did this, we were underground and you ended up getting us in trouble with somebody's daughter. Was it a good roll? Your good roll, sir.
Okay, so basically, tell me how you would like to exploit this if you choose to.
There we go.
Greetings, good people. I'm looking for a fancy clothes. I had to cut mine up, and I see that you are a tailor, sir.
Absolutely. Reginald, I would be honored and a privilege to make a piece of clothing for a hero. Tell me what you're looking for specific, or do you just need something to throw on for something quick?
I would like a cloak that can be reversed. Perhaps I want it to be black one day, and the next I might wish it to be green or brown. Do you have the ability to make me a reversible cloak?
Absolutely. Now, just so you're aware, something that's lightened and something that's natural color would be super easy. If you're wanting a color other than brown or a tan, then it would require more time because we would have to obtain the colors and make sure the dyers have the appropriate colors. So the answer is yes. So he starts to write things down with a pen and parchment, and he's like, okay, a two-sided cloak. Would you like the inside to be green and the outside to be what? Brown, did you say? Or oh, black.
I would like black, please.
Okay. Well, luckily, ash.
You'll have to dye that fabric.
Ash and charcoal are and burned things are easier to get than the greens. The green. So.
And then tan on the other side, sir. With a hook and loop closure at the nape of the hood. And of the finest quality fabrics that you have at your disposal.
He looks at you again and he says, hold on, my pen stopped up. How embarrassing, sir. I can't believe that I've run out of ink when the hero is here. Hold on. He says, okay. And is this the kind of cloak would you like the cover piece that, for instance, do you have time? Let me go through with you what your options are. Do you have some time this morning?
I'm just trying to secure the cloak, so I have all the time I need. So.
Okay, so you can have the cloak with a clasp or any number of clasps along the front. Obviously, we would just suggest the one at the top, and it covers, when pulled and buttoned together, your shoulders, your arms, and down, as long as you would like. Normally people like it to go about to the waist, because if they're riding horses or anything, they don't want to always have to move it out of the way. Some people like the longer versions. So
I think that 3 clasps should be enough, just so that it will close down upon my chest.
okay. And second of all, you can have a cloak where when it's closed, it has holes for your arms, and then we put a shorter mantle over the top of that to where your arms could be exposed, like from your elbows, but the rest of your arm would be covered by another section of an overcloak. And I've seen that be popular with some, especially those who do a lot of horseback riding, because they want to be able to have their hands free at all times. So you have that option as well, and then the length.
The cloak doesn't need sleeves, sir.
I mean, it would have holes, and then there would be another part that was put over across your back that would cover the top part of your arms.
Should I be requesting a cape then? I don't want anything that my arms go through. I want this to be a loose cloak with a hood.
A cape does not cover anything past the back, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so you just want a plain cloak that you would have to push through to get your arms out, if closed.
Yes, or it would rest on my shoulders or
If you
behind
want.
my shoulder.
Okay, sure. Okay, all right, that's fine. I wasn't trying to upsell you. I just wanted to make you aware of a new style. Okay, and then you said inside would be
one side tan, one side black. Please.
okay. So the reason I'm asking what you want on the inside is because the clasps do have to be attached to one side, so it's easier to hook
Then
on.
let's just do a rope. Let's just do a rope closure. A cord.
Okay, all right. All right,
Because I want to be able to wear either color easily.
okay.
Craftsmanship.
So he says book price, but because you are a hero, he says
I'm reaching out.
I'm going to do it. You didn't get the free roll, but you did get the at free labor roll, as the DM tells you.
My God, what did he need for free roll?
40.
How did he got 40?
No, he got 36.
Oh.
And he could have got that if he would have rolled like at least a 10 on the second roll.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah, I could have got it.
shit happens. That's fine.
I'm
So,
going to place 10 silver pieces on the table.
cloak. Where am I going here? Where's the clothes?
On
Here it
the
is.
bench.
Okay.
He just paid you more than 4 times.
Okay. So,
I-
a good cloth cloak, normally, sir, would cost 8 silver pieces. A double-sided would put it up to 10, but the labor is half the cost, so for 5 silver coins. And I will put not only myself, but my apprentice, otherwise known as my son, on this job, and we can have it done. We can have it done for you in 2 days.
That would be wonderful. And I reach in and I pull out 10 more silver pieces, and I place them next to the other 10, and I say, thank you. I appreciate you getting so much effort on it.
He says, I wouldn't dare think of, except this is too much. This is way too much for someone who has done so much for our community. And then the DM,
Well, sir,
if the DM says if you want to attempt to persuade him, you can certainly try, or you can not.
I appreciate the time and effort that you're putting toward my project and the extra time that you're putting in after hours. I think you should be compensated, sir. Please, feel free to take this as a gift
And then he
and payment
he
for
looks
your genuine craftsmanship.
he looks up at you and he says, "Well, it would be rude to refuse the hero, so thank you."
I appreciate it.
He says, "But okay, so I'm going to take half now, and then if you think it's worth it, give me the other 10 when you come to pick it up in 2 days."
Fair enough.
There we go.
And I'll remove.
Okay, so you're done.
Move along. Oh, I asked before I leave, sir, is there a rancher near that sells seeds? Is there a horse ranch or a farm nearby that actually sells horses?
He says, "We do have, not obviously in the inside the walls, but I know that
Can I ask the blacksmith?
I know that Spiff, who runs his farm about a mile east of here. I think that I heard that he had a couple of horses for sale, and he was just waiting on a good time to take them into the city to see what he could sell them for. So perhaps you might get lucky by checking. And if you're planning on going there, you'll want to, if you're heading back south, take the first left, take that road, and it'll take you through the fields, and then you'll enter the forest, some forest, but then it'll open up into some other fields. And Spiff has a cedar home, and he has 2 great big barns that are actually bigger than his house, and he has a low rock fence surrounding his farmland.
All right. Sounds like a great lead. I will leave you to your work, sir. Have a great day.
I'll go with you out there too, Reginald. I wouldn't mind maybe purchasing the other horse.
That'd be great.
Okay.
I'm ready to let the do some of the work.
Alrighty. Anything else from anyone?
I'm just hanging with him. I don't need anything.
I look at the leather worker, the tanner's area to see do they sell saddles or saddlebags, or equipment for a horse.
Okay.
If I don't see them around, I'm not going to go up.
An investigation of them reveals that you could purchase enough supplies to outfit a horse. There's like 2 saddles and 2 bridles, but there's only one working set of some other thing that's for a horse that it needs. So
I pat Covidius on the arm and say, hey, but we can get the horses. This guy's got some equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
Come back.
Okay.
You guys want to go out to the farm, or
Fine with me.
maybe we should look around for Tom? I'd like to ask him a couple more questions.
You know, if he's of the blend, maybe he's inside. Or, you know, like, maybe he has prayers he has to do, or, I don't know.
Yeah. He must be a priest. He must be
I went back to the library myself.
The problem is you only found like one saddle blanket. Apparently the blankets were purchased for other things recently. So
cool.
that was the thing that was missing. Otherwise you could have got 2 of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are going to start looking around and asking for Kettle Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like those of you that are participating in this investigation, I would like you to either roll a intelligence check or a charisma check.
Perception or intelligence?
Intelligence or charisma.
Deception.
All right, so Jason, what did you pick?
30.
On what?
I think 20 plus my intelligence.
You took an intel. Okay. Reginald?
34 on my charisma.
Okay. And
22.
Ovidius? 22.
20. Doing
Yeah.
30? Yeah. No, 22.
On your intelligence or charisma?
Intelligence.
Okay. All right. So what that means is that those of you that were successful on your intelligence, you were good at being able to ask the right questions and using your powers of your mind to find perhaps where he might be, and you have a destination. And Reginald, using your charisma, you ask and people are like, well, I don't know, but let me ask such and such because they might know. And so eventually you all hear that he is probably, if he would be anywhere, he would be hanging out or being with the commander, the sergeant, the captain of the guard. And through your charisma check, you find out that the Kettle Tom was a guard at some point, according to the story. Not necessarily here, but somewhere. And then along his journeys, he decided to devote himself to the blend, and it turns out he was chosen and that he is a holy warrior. So having this, both the faith and the ability of a fighting man, has made him a key representative of the faith. So as you all head over to the guardhouse, you can see that Abbot Patrick is on the roof of his building, and he appears to be fixing some shingles. And he's got his shirt off, and the warm sun is beating down on him, and he appears to be working on something and occasionally asking for something from someone down on the ground to pass him up. And there's a ladder there. And you also notice that there are several monks out in the garden, and Vanessa is out there, and you notice that she does not have her face covered at all, and she appears to be, something about her appears to be like less are more confident. Just the way she's walking around is like a different. She's holding herself a little differently, as if perhaps maybe she's happy or has something to look forward to, or sometimes people just have an aura about them which gives you a sense of their mood, and it is different for her today than it was the first few times that you saw her. And so you go to the guardhouse, and there's a guard outside who's standing guard, not necessarily like at the ready or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, hey! Good morning, gentlemen!
Hello.
Are you wanting to come in here?"
The guard is asking me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for Uncle Tom. Have you seen him around?
Could you turn your music down, Tom?
I can.
Thank you.
Yes, I can.
I will tell you on my way over here, you were very loud. I could barely hear Jason at all, and I could hear the music though. It wasn't overblaring. Just for whatever reason, Jason sounded like he was in Florida.
Yeah, when I was on the cell phone in the car, I could barely hear him either. But now I hear him fine.
Yeah.
Unless he's muted.
Nope.
Okay, so he's like, "Oh, all right. Do you wanna come in with me, or do you want me to just go in and check and then come back out?"
I'll go in with you. I put my hand on his shoulder. How you doing today? Weather's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be a good day. I don't know why. And he opens the door and walks in, and you guys can follow him if you want. Yes, Shadrach.
I want to go to the library. You can find me there, guys.
Okay. So you guys that go into the guardhouse, you walk in and you can see a couple guys that are seeming to walk around very casually. Someone that looks like they're getting ready to head out and on patrol. Must be it's time for his shift. He's tightening his belt and making sure everything's before he kind of just nods and heads on out the door. And then this guard walks over to this door that's kind of set back from the open foyer, and he knocks on it, and you hear, "Come in," and opens the door, and he says, "You have some visitors, Captain." And they say they're looking for Kettle Tom, and he goes, "Well, send them in." And he kind of steps away and motions for you guys to walk in.
Thank you, sir. Greetings, gentlemen.
Well, good
How can we
morning.
find you?
And in this room, you can see him, and you see Kettle Tom is there wearing like regular nice shirt and trousers and a belt. He does not have his sword on his side. He just looks like he's casually hanging out here. And Kettle Tom stands up and he says, "Gentlemen, good morning." And the captain says, "Is this a business or pleasure meeting?"
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt your pleasure, but it's a bit of business. I just wanted to extend my hand again to you, Kettle Tom, and let you know that our company thinks that you would be an excellent addition. You say you're a healer and a warrior. Are you a priest? Do you draw your mana from your faith?
He says, I do draw my power from my faith. I am not a priest, though. I am from I follow the ancient code of Paladin.
Oh, I see. I'm not familiar with this ancient code.
We are some of us that are chosen. We are chosen in times when perhaps the ideals of the blend either need a more severe form of protection, or there is a coming challenge that needs a unique answer. And
well, we're certainly facing that.
And tell me, what is the nature of, other than what I know of, how many are in your company?
Well, we have a couple of members that have gone their separate ways. At the moment, there are 4 of us at the core group. And we tend to find ourselves in dangerous situations, especially of late, having faced Bazan Agan and his minions with no easy task. And speaking of that, this man right here, and I point to the guard, he's a brave warrior. You should have seen him in action that night. But I lose track. We find ourselves in dangerous situations and sometimes on the brink of death. And to have a healer in our midst that is capable, our friend Shadrach, he's a capable healer, and he has skill in the herbalist pool, and he makes great poultices, and he can heal. But he tends to get flack from his deity that seems, I don't understand all the magic stuff, and I'm not going to try to explain it. I'm sure you know better. You draw the mana. But we currently are in the task of ridding the Republic of Saskatoon of these slave lords that keep taking our community members and shipping them off to who knows what hell and for what purposes. But that, at the moment, is our mission. And there are several of them in this part of the continent, to our knowledge. Is that a extreme enough challenge that needs a unique solution, sir?
I would say so. I have scouted a slavehold north of here.
I turned to Biddy as a man of resources.
Indeed.
He would be a farm addition.
I agree.
There was no need for me to throw myself against the entirety, against the entirety of a slavehold. It couldn't be done, a single man against, I hate to use the term, but let's just say an organized company.
Yes. I've heard that there are 2 strongholds to the north along the coast. It's awesome that you already know where one is.
I would be willing to absolutely, if this is what you want, I would be willing to lead you and your company there, fight, and possibly die in the attempt to destroy the leaders and those that gain from the despair and torture of our people.
Well said. Death to the slavers.
You must understand, though, death for me is a last resort.
Oh, me as well, sir. I'm not looking to die, but sometimes in battle,
Yes.
the sword
Defending oneself, there is absolutely no reason why in the defense of your own life you should allow someone to gain the upper hand on you by not delivering the coup de grace. But I'm not willing to just go in and slaughter every single person that might be under the employ of the leader of that slavehold.
Being of the Flynn, I didn't expect that you would be up for wholesale slaughter, sir. But
Well-
I am curious how your beliefs allow you to. I guess it's just the monks that are pacifist here, or is it everyone? Obviously, it's not everyone.
Well, considering the blend envelops every and all views, one could say that a follower of the blend would be just as willing to call upon the more malevolent beings and worship them and do their bidding, but that's not the path I've chosen. I have chosen the sacred path of Paladin, which deems life sacred, and at every opportunity we seek to perform acts that help rather than destroy. So
that makes sense.
if some of you are of the mind that going somewhere and destroying every vermin in the rat's nest, if that's your only goal, I will not help you do that. I will continue on my journey, but just know that if I choose not to destroy the rat and you go behind me and destroy the rat when it would be no threat, then I will have a problem with that. And unfortunately, my code would force me to defend them against someone else.
I understand your code a bit. I wouldn't expect you to throw your beliefs to the side. I recently have begun praying to the blend. I believe in the message that they teach, and the mighty Kyren, Montuth, and Shambhala, seeing them in their golden glory, has shown me that there is a higher power and there is magic in the world. I've seen enough of it now that I wish I could tap into it.
Well, I hate to interrupt you, but I have to. You having seen them and helped restore one of them, I think that's what called me here, whether I know that or not. It's what I choose to believe. And on top of that, being of the holy sect of the Paladin, in our histories, there was a time when the great first of our kind, Paladin himself, rode on the Kyrene as a steed.
Wow.
And so our goals are aligned, and they are our holy totem animal. And
very good.
Just the fact that your group was able to do what you did, it makes me want to believe.
Well, thank you very much. And they were spectacular to behold. The fact that Montuth had sacrificed so much, so many years of his own existence to keep us on at bay is just amazing. I was happy to be a part of setting him free from that oath.
The size of the sacrifice matches the danger. Take that for what it
Indeed.
is. So yes, I would most like to join you on this quest. It doesn't have to be a holy quest for you, but it will be for me. It can be any kind of quest you want it to be for yourselves. I will not attempt, I'm giving this speech preemptively because I've run into this before. I will not attempt to convince you to believe in anything that you don't want to believe in. I only want to make it sure that you understand that that my code I take very serious, and it should be a rare thing that I would be put in a position to choose between a quest and my code, and I would just ask that you would respect that as
Certainly,
if you
certainly.
can. So
There were none amongst our group with dark souls. Some of us are outside the norm, perhaps, and you may question their ways, but the results, I think, show that we are all of good heart.
Let me further and assure you that we don't raise arms unless it's absolutely necessary, or against those that don't absolutely deserve it or that are coming after us.
well then, when do we leave?
We have a couple days here still. Pick is getting his armor repaired in the market, and I'm going to try to find Spiff's farm to the south. And I hear he's got a couple of horses for sale, and I missed my steed.
Do you have a horse, sir?
I do.
Good.
Well, you'll find Spiff to be very likable, and but he's firm on his prices, and he knows his horses. So if he doesn't seem to want to haggle on a price, don't take it personal. He's been around the block a time or two.
We're in a position, sir, where haggling's not something we need to do right now.
Okay.
So I mean, if anything, for good workmanship or for doing the right job, we might overpay. It's less of a burden for us to overpay, to be honest with you.
And then as far as the couple of
When it's
days,
equal, I think it's good to share the wealth.
Yes,
and
I agree.
as far as the couple of days, that's good to hear, because I would like to spend a little bit more time with my friend, the abbot here, and kind of talk to the monks and some of the people of the village and town. And I find that making my rounds amongst the people helps reinvigorate my soul and returns the fire to my belly to put forth my best effort to save them from things that they shouldn't have to deal with.
I found this place to be most inviting and welcoming, and the people are friendly. And I had considered staying in this area, but I've made up my mind to move on.
Well,
I wanted to catch you before you left, sir. I didn't know what your plans were, and I wanted to be clear because we talked it over last night after meeting you. And I just wanted you to be aware that we would welcome you into our company and appreciate you introducing yourself.
A good sword arm is always welcome.
very good. So I'm staying, here in the monastery. I'm not staying in the infirmary. I'm staying in one of the guest rooms in the building in the back here. if for some reason you need to get a hold of me and I'm not, you can't find me there, then leave a message because I will return to there. And then on the third day from today, unless someone has a better idea, then we should take off. Do you think you'll be able to get the horse and before then?
I hope to secure the horse today.
Okay. And then we can take off, and we will be heading north and then east before the Cape of Madness. I wish to avoid, even if there's nothing there, I just don't want to go by there. We can take a different route that I know of.
I have bad memories of that place as well.
I don't like traveling so close to the stream, and I've had bad nightmares, I've noticed, by being too close to the stream. So I don't like the water.
A couple of people have mentioned, you included, Covidius, going to Tila. But if you know of an outpost that is closer to here, I'm all for that.
No, this is about as north as most people go because they know that there's bandits and sometimes occasionally outlaws that either might do business with slavers or have a loose relationship with them. And until there's a reason for the Republic to send in an army, you would think that there being possible slavers there would be enough, but I mean, this is what I think. I think the slavers run a tight-knit, not a tight-knit, an operation that isn't sloppy. Like they don't have signs saying slavers this way.
Yeah,
And
I get it.
they're far enough away from any big towns, so, and there's no reason for them to come here if the slaver that was here apparently was doing their job, or I guess maybe there's territories of slavers that they don't, like they can be slavers from here to there. You know what I'm talking about? Like a territory. So, and that might be something new. It's very possible that those northern slavers might see an opening and try to come down and capitalize. I wouldn't doubt that either. So now would be the time to go. So, yeah, now that just makes me, the more I think about it, the more I want to go even more. So, okay. So 3 days, how about if I meet you all, and I usually pray in the morning, but on the day of a journey, I want to pray in the holiest place I can find, and that's at the altar in this temple. So
Very good.
I can meet you outside of this temple right after dawn.
You know where our camp is set up. We'll gather our goods and
Okay, so we're
get it
real
all
close. All right, very good. Anything else that I can, or any questions for me while I'm here, or perhaps the abbot? And the abbot's like, don't involve me. You know,
remember he was there.
my adventuring days are over, so unless it's coming right to me, I just, I've done my duty, whether for good or for bad. And Tom kind of looks over at him with the side eye and then looks back to you guys and says, so are we in agreement? Are we good?
I give a bow
I think so.
and a flourish. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. Sorry to interrupt your friendly gathering. Please enjoy the day.
I stick an arm out. Or
He shakes your
forearm.
hand.
Well, the forearm thing.
Okay.
I said, welcome aboard.
Okay. And do you guys leave, or do you just kind of stand there and whistle?
Don't leave.
I whistle.
I exit the building.
Okay. All right. So let's unless you guys need to talk about something once you exit the building, we'll switch over.
I would say we're heading to the farm to get the horses, or to look into getting that. I would say that's the next thing we're heading to do. Would you agree
I
with
want to
that?
make sure that Shadrach doesn't wish to join us. I know he said he was going to the library, but I want him to know when we're leaving. And is
Okay.
Pick with us, or did he stay at the camp?
He went back to the library.
Pick staying at the camp
Oh, Pick. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
just to make it easy.
Right. Yeah. And we'll let them guys know before we head out. What do you think? We'll go to the library first?
Yeah.
All right, Shadrach, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so you head on over and you walk into the temple. And when you walk into the temple, one of the monks is there and he looks up at you and smiles.
I was wondering if I may visit the library, please.
He motions for you to follow him and he starts to walk up to the large square that descends. And he puts his hand out for you to stop, and he starts to walk down the steps.
All right.
And then a short
I'll
time,
wait until he says to come.
right? A short time later, hold on. You remember the title of this guy? I have it. I have it on my
Like I
phone.
said,
here.
I had those 3 pages of notes from those sessions, so
I don't think
I've lost
it's.
a lot of the people's names.
I don't think it's Cellerer. And it could be archivist, but I don't think that's the right term that I used. So,
It was
hold on. I got it right here. I'm going to pull it up.
I was going to say it had something to do with being described, but it wasn't that. It was something else.
Well, it would just be the librarian, apparently. Oh, I see.
Well, he
Okay. All right. So you are approached by someone different, and he introduces himself. He says, "Hello, I am the librarian. I understand that you've been here in the past. The sacrist is not here, so you will not have access to the relics or the holy books, but you can certainly look at the other books that we have."
I had a question for you, in fact.
Okay.
Do you have any maps here?
A few, yes.
As a favor, I would like to ask for perhaps to take a few maps with me. I think it will be of service to us in our future endeavor to deal with slavery.
Roll me a charisma check, straight.
Ooh, no, just a straight up dice or what?
Well, then add your charisma.
23.
Okay. So he says, as much as I would like to help you, these maps aren't to be given out. If you need a map, we can certainly make copies, and it would take some time depending on how detailed you want them to be. If you would just like a road map, say you're going from here to Chex, we can certainly do that in a couple of hours. But if you're needing details or a larger area with many different cities along the way, that would increase the time. So
I'll
perhaps
get back to you on that.
I was going to
I'm
say,
going to talk to my friends and see exactly where we're going.
okay. I was just about to say, perhaps if you told me where you were starting and where your intended goal was, because I can show you what it would look like if you want to see that real quick.
I believe our destination is the northern coast.
Okay, so he says, well, follow me over here. And he's got just a table with a bunch of sheaves on it. And he starts to pick them up and they crinkle. as he's flipping them over, and he says, okay, so look at this map here. You'll notice. It's, even though, I don't know if are you familiar with how maps work?
Basically.
Okay, so
I was doing this for my friend's benefit,
So here, you'll notice, here's a map that shows where you are now. And as you look at the map, it's as if you rolled out like a roll of paper towels. And so like all the way on the left, it shows the abbot and the monastery. And then it shows all the way on the right, this northern... The edge of the xerophonic forest, and
Xerophonic?
Yes. And he says, so as you can see, there's mostly there aren't a lot of civilization from here to there. And what that means is that as far as anyone knows or has put to maps, it's just kind of open land that the Republic has either decided not to attempt to colonize or doesn't have any use for. And even though the map goes from left to right, what you have to understand is really, if you turn the map sideways and you put where we are at the bottom and you roll it out and he kind of rolls it out like away from him on the table, that would be south, and that up there would be north. So even though it doesn't really matter, because you got to just go this way, there may or may not be even roads through that territory. That's not there hasn't been any reason other than say someone saying there's a coastline there, which the map kind of shows, but it doesn't show anything else.
So this is the best you've got for this region? I'm just asking.
Yes.
How soon can you make a copy of it?
Something like this, I think we could get it to you by supper time.
I'll take it, and I thank you very much for that. You've instructed me much today.
He kind of looks at you with a smirk, like, not a smirk like fuck you smirk, but a smirk like, huh, I wasn't expecting that. And then he says, okay, so let me make sure that we have the inks and the parchments. I think we do, unless somebody came along and took it while I wasn't paying attention. But that would certainly fall under my purview. I think we have it. So just hold on a second, and you see him kind of walk past the table and go to a large shelving unit with all these shelves and posts and things, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, here we go. A parchment, looks about right. Okay, so I'll happily do this. This will be something to do today. I'm still a little bit tired from yesterday. So yeah, come back after supper, or right before supper, I should say. I would like to have it done before supper so I can get that meal, because I know that there's going to be some fresh fish. Okay?
Yes, I'll endeavor to be in the area. Thank you very much.
And is there
also,
yes?
Give my respect to the sacrist, please.
Oh, absolutely. And if I remember right, your name was Shadrach. Shadrach, I apologize. Yes, Shadrach.
That's fine.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that down. How do you spell that?
I'll write it. I'll spell it for him. I'll write it out myself to show him that I can do it.
Do you read and write?
Yes.
And what do you read and write?
I read and write Southern, I'm pretty sure.
Well, make sure.
Let's see here. Reading, writing, Southern.
Okay. So yes, so you spell out Shadrach, and he's like, huh, that's an interesting spelling. Shadrach. Okay. Alrighty. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I leave. And
Okay.
I walk out.
Okay, and where do you go when you leave?
Outside the front door of the temple, just gonna like hang around and look for my friends. I'm not gonna like roam around or anything. I'm just gonna like look around.
Okay, well, we'll say at some point you guys bump into each other over once again in the market area, like back where your tents and stuff are.
We were going to go to the farm up to see about buying a horse. Would you like to go?
Well, yes, since you're getting horses, I thought I should at least get a mule.
Well, I don't know that he has one, but by golly, we'll find out.
Well, I would at least go and see if he has a donkey. I'll take that. So
I would like Reginald to roll the D20.
My total is a 6.
Okay. Carry on.
I'm having a map made up that might help us in our journey.
Oh, fantastic.
That's why I went to the library.
Do you have a vial of ink and a quill that you can add landmarks as you go?
I think I can take care of that, yes.
That's a good idea.
I don't necessarily need a quill, but yes, I know how to make marks on yes, I can do that.
How would you do that?
How would I do that?
Yeah.
Very, very simple. There's little sharp sticks. Brushes, I can make a brush with just the right kind of tuft of, but I mean, it's just a matter of...
Do you still need ink?
It's just, it's not that difficult to make marks.
No, it isn't. You guys need to teach me this writing thing. I'd like to be able to read when we're making camp or on our walk to the farm. Explain to me how this works. You make these wiggly marks.
I can tell you, Reginald, that it's much more difficult to write and make words on paper or anything else with a chicken bone or a stick than it is to write with the quill off of a feathered animal. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to. I don't mind teaching you.
I've known people that could read words but could not speak them, and people that could speak words but could not read them.
I will say that if you want to learn when we're on the road, we'll need to purchase some blank parchment and some ink and a writing quill. I do not carry that myself, but it would be difficult to teach you without the basic implements.
Well, I know the library has the equipment, but I don't think they have it for sale.
We should probably start with a stick in the dirt and
sure.
some excavations.
Crude, but it works as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys gather your things and start to walk east? Or do you do anything before you leave? And what are you wearing and what are you taking?
I will put on my armor.
Yeah, we go back to our tents to do that, and we inform Pick where we're going.
I just take my scimitar. That's the only my scimitar in my bag.
No armor?
Well, my cloak, of course, yeah. I always just have that on pretty much.
I will
My
take
buffalo hide, my buffalo robe.
Unless Pick is staying, I'll even take down my tent and take it with me. Because you never know.
As long as Pick's not here, Pick's gonna stay.
Reginald, I just had a weird flash in my mind. Wouldn't it be strange if your horse was living at that farm and he found it?
That would be a long way.
I just had a weird thought. I don't know. I just thought that would be funny.
We'll see. I don't expect that, but
Didn't T-Mark have a dog?
T-Mark did. And a donkey with a cart?
Oh,
Yeah.
his jailmobile.
I don't need a cart.
No,
I can just
no.
the horse with saddlebag and carry part of this load.
If you're going to have horses, I at least need to have a mount that can keep up with you. So
You're welcome to ride with me, Shadrach. I don't know if you have the skill. I'm not saying you couldn't ride an animal.
No, I don't really know how to ride animals because I think it's wrong, but it's... I know that I need to keep up with you guys. I can make friends with a beast, and I think I would rather do that and make it an equal pack.
Yeah. That's cool.
But I won't enslave an animal.
Well, I guess that's what it boils down to, but that's not how I see it. I take care of my horses. You remember old Charlie?
Yeah, the one you left behind, starved to death or be eaten by wolves.
Yeah,
Old
good
Charlie.
care of him.
Old Charlie. You took good care of him.
Poor
So my
horse.
plan would be that if I'm going to have this mule or donkey, at the end of this, if it gets through this, I'll make sure that it has a nice, happy life. So,
Yeah.
And then we'll eat it.
well, it might eat us. Shadrach will eat meat. I have no problem with that. I understand that,
That's what she said.
So I pack up my gear
Like,
and I say, okay, let's head south and then we'll take the road east.
go to the donkey farm. Yeah. Sorry.
Looking for Spiff.
This discount donkey. And horse flesh.
All right.
If this is not clue, we've got it for
So you guys take off and
Yes, sir.
you. How far are we going? How far away is this place?
3 days.
so you guys start going north out of the Abbot, and you're going back to the Cave of Madness. Is that correct, or
Not
Where-
quite. Got the turn off before there.
We're going a mile east of here. We're gonna go out the south and take the first left.
Okay, very good. You are correct. So that's what you do, and
yeah,
you know
got nervous there for a second. Like, wait a minute, we're going where?
after about
Okay, what?
After about an hour and a half, you enter into a forest. The little dirt road starts to head through a forest, and the canopy of the forest it covers the road and all the other surrounding underbrush, and there's a lot of like birds and rustling creatures that are flitting around looking for things to eat or fuck. Yes, Shadrach.
Is this the Xerophonic forest?
You wouldn't think so, no.
Not yet, okay.
This seems to be like very close, and according to what you remember looking at the map, the Xerophonic forest was like at least 2 weeks away.
Alright.
So,
Yeah, I don't have the spatial differentials kind of confusing still.
and if you've ever seen ancient maps, that's kind of the way they were. It was just, well, now you're at this next town, and we know what that is, but they didn't always match up with what you would think they would look like. So, because they didn't have aerial photography to show everything, and there was a lot of guesswork. And as you're going through the forest, things seem to be normal, but of course you know they're not going to be. So I would like Shadrach to roll a d10.
A 1!
Nice. All right. So, amazingly enough, as you all are walking through, and occasionally there's been somebody, not like you've passed 2 people going the opposite direction the whole day so far. Like I said, you've been walking about an hour and a half or 2 hours. You know a person can walk 3 miles in an hour, or a mile in 3 hours. Was that it?
Maybe.
I can't
No.
remember.
I can walk a
Not a mile in
in
3 hours. That's not right.
Yeah, that's not right.
No,
Let's see.
that's you can walk a mile in so many minutes.
Maybe it's 3 miles an hour.
No.
I believe that.
That's
I
not
can
right
probably
either.
walk 3 miles an hour easy. Yeah.
It's a mile from my road to the Elks Club to the Mill Road, and people walk it all the time. It takes no time to walk a mile.
Yeah. I can walk to my job in like
3
20
miles
minutes.
in way under an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
According to Google, 3 to 4
But that's
miles
also-
per hour. What is the average walking speed of an adult? The average walking speed of a human is 3 to 4 miles per hour, or 1 mile every 15 to 20 minutes. That's what
Yep.
I thought I had knew that by heart because I'm always thinking about walking to work, even though I never will.
How far is it?
3 miles. Okay. So after about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, you enter the forest. And then when you get in the forest, a loud cracking sound surprises all of you. And just for a brief moment, you're like, what the fuck? And you turn and you see a tree that's like the upper branch is snapped and it's falling. And it's not even that close to you. It's like 30 feet away. But just the instantaneous cracking of the branch causes you all to be like, dude! Because that's what the dice said that happened. Now I need all of you to make charisma checks. And I will ask for success or failure, and we will start with COVID. This needs to be 21 or more.
30.
30, okay, that's a
19 plus
success.
11.
Reginald?
16, I rolled a 1.
Oh no! Implode!
Another one.
17.
Okay, that's just a plain old failure. And Shadrach.
I rolled a 1.
Oh no! Implode!
Oh, hang on. All right, 15 that time.
Okay, so that would be just a normal failure. Okay, so because there was 2 failures and 1 success
Great.
for your group surprise result, it's negative. So the Dungeon Master gets to come up with something great to fuck up you guys. So as the tree falls and the branch and you're like just surprised, from the other side of the road, whoa, and a beast, just give me a beast. A beast runs out and attacks you.
Uh-oh.
And because Reginald and Shadrach both rolled a 1, I would like each of you to make another charisma check, please. And I need totals. This is an opposed charisma roll. So, and I will call for the numbers. Okay, we'll start with Shadrach. Your total is?
25.
And Reginald's total is?
24.
Oh!
we have a winner!
All right. So, apparently because of it attacking Reginald, you must have been walking on that side. You're all like, la la la, and then, what the fuck? And then, ah! And you turn, you're like, I'm surprised! Do you have a reaction adjustment on your dexterity?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
1, 2.
All right. So yes, it gets a free attack on you. So it just runs up and tries to club you, and it's a furry humanoid. Possibly you're thinking first it's like a bear, but why does a bear have a rock type of axe, an axe of a uncivilized weapon, and why is it attempting to chop you with it? So, when I say what attack roll it hits, you do not get your dexterity on your armor class. All
I
right.
thought.
So,
Welcome to Facebook dating.
oh, it only hit an armor class of 7.
6 is what he needed.
And that's without your dexterity?
Yes, it's a 6.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let me just make sure that surprised people don't have any other negative. I was looking through these the other day.
That's close.
Were you giving him his Reaction adjustment?
His cool. Well, he doesn't. You don't get it if you're surprised.
Oh no, you'd asked him if he had it. That's why I was wondering if he was getting it.
Well, if it had been a 3.
We're gonna get killed by a hairy goblin.
It's a lot bigger than a goblin, brother. The figure's bigger than all of us.
Where's my?
But it's probably not considered larger than humanoid. Is it
It's
correct,
bigger
Bob? Is
than
it
an
normal
axe.
size? Like,
All I heard was hairy.
It's not a
goblin.
size
I didn't hear
category
how
up,
big
is
it was. How tall is it, Cobb?
It's an axe bear.
Yeah, it's an axe bear. Where the fuck is my other sheet?
A clam shoe.
Club neck clam shoe.
Yep.
Rare club neck clam.
This is the Prairie Club neck clam shoe.
Clackety, flickety, flackety,
The
flickety.
hairy clam shoe.
It's been a while since.
Hey, Daryl.
Hey,
Daryl.
love it.
Daryl, what does Klaus think about this situation?
He love it.
Klaus von Stinkwhistle. Defender surprised. +1.
Klaus will-
Taking his total to hitting an armor class of 6.
Klaus owns an inn. He said his left arm was thinking.
I'm sorry, Daryl.
Here comes that axe. Gonna crush
right.
your head.
So. Reginald takes a whopping, 8 points of damage.
Holy crap!
And
Oh.
you do need to save versus paralyzation or be knocked down. Do you have tumbling?
I do not.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm jumping. I can leap out of the way. But too late for that. 19.
Oh, that's plenty good. All right. So you are successful. There's that other thing I was looking for. Okay. All right. So the surprise round is over, and this thing's apparently mad about something, or maybe it just sees you as a meal. So I need
It might have down the tree.
I need actions, and we'll start with Reginald because you're in melee with it.
Attacking with my dagger.
COVID,
Attacking.
Shadrach.
Attacking with my scimitar.
Okay, roll initiative. COVID. Be a 4.
6.
All right. So on fast, the creature rolls to hit Reginald again. It's like, "Arr!" And same roll, but this time you're not surprised. So it hits an armor class of 7.
That's it. Oh, well not. So I'm a 2.
So that's a miss. All right. And then with its other hand, it's just got a regular, it gets 2 attacks, so it's going to try to claw you.
No!
So it's got claws.
And that hits an armor class of 6, which is a miss. Okay. And it is now your guys' turn. So who's going on fast? The dagger is a speed of 2, I think. So you go.
You go for me on fast. I think that's
So you face the creature.
It's a 20.
nice.
Dirty or? Oh no. Okay, explode.
18.
What does that
That's
hit?
38. 38.
No.
Oh, an 18. It's an armor class of -1.
All right. Roll damage and add 1. That is a serious wound right off the bat.
3.
And roll percentile.
63.
All right, so you spin. The creature takes one swipe with its axe. You duck out of the way, now not surprised. It takes its claw and tries to raid you across the face. You back up and you go whoop, and then right then you take your dagger and you do a stab, and you stab him right in his upper chest, right under his clavicle. Ah! And then you draw it out, and the blood kind of flicks out on its fur, and he's going, ah! And you do 4 points of damage on it. And there is a thing that it has from a serious wound on its chest, which is right there. Okay. So, yeah, that did some good damage. All right, who's next?
Me.
What is the cat? Okay, so COVID's up. So I'm guessing you would just like to move to threaten and attack, all right?
Yep. Hitting an armor class of 3.
That's a hit. Roll dingus.
Eight.
All right. You slash him across his leg as he's like, oh, like you come up and say, stab, into the meaty part of his thigh, and you draw your sword back, and he like moves his leg instinctively back, and drawing the leg away from the weapon and back into the fighting position. And Shadrach's turn. What? Oh, you're gonna move and attack. Okay. So you can flank if you want for a +1 to hit.
Oh, okay. I hit armor class 4 then.
That's a hit. Roll dinkus.
That's D8, I think. Yes.
Scimitar?
D8.
Yeah,
D8.
yeah.
I don't know if that has all the weapons on it.
3 points.
Does not. 3 points. Okay, you end up slashing him on his left arm, and he's like, ah! And he kind of turns, and now he's being surrounded, and he's rethinking his fucking action there. He's like, oh fuck.
His turn.
And that was 10
he hit
points.
first.
All right. That is the end of the round. And we go to the next round. He's looking really hurt. Actions. And we'll go with Reginald.
Attack.
COVID.
Attack.
Shadrach.
I can't attend to Reginald's wounds while he's fighting, can I?
If you attempt a touch attack, you need to hit an armor class of 10. Minus whatever armor he's wearing.
Alright, I'll just keep flashing at the beast.
Okay.
If you both drop out, he can heal you and get you within that 1 round of the damage, and then it'll be more beneficial to him. I can take this thing out. I'm sure it's only gonna take 1 more hit. And I got 2 of them this round, so.
Fine. I will hold my action.
You know what I'm saying, Daryl, right? If he gets you
I'm going to
within
hold my action to heal.
the same round, you'll get more. You get more healing from his powers. If he waits too long, then you don't get it.
Shadrach, what's your action?
I'm going to hold my action to heal Reginald. If the creature is not killed at the end of the round, I'll lose that action.
So basically you're holding a spell.
No, I'm going to do first aid on it, first of all.
Okay, you can't do a healing check on someone that's in melee or in combat.
I know that.
They have to hold still.
Alright, I will cast a spell. That's fine.
Okay. Alright, roll initiative, Shadrach. Roll a d10. Beat a 7.
Roll a 7.
Oh.
Uh-oh! Shadrach, roll a d20.
Oh boy.
6.
Happens to the creature side.
Don't roll a 16. And that the reinforcements.
Shadrach, roll a d20.
Oh no. 13.
Okay. So, This is all simultaneous jam. So,
Eagles fast. At the same time as me and Daryl.
Daryl, you have a speed of 2 with a dagger, so you would go first.
All right. That hits an armor class with -2.
That is a hit. Roll Dinkus.
Four points.
Oh, you stab him once again. This time right at the top of where his neck meets his shoulder. And he's like, ah! And he backs up a little bit more, and the dagger comes out, and blood sprays out in a gout. And he's starting to get woozy, and he's looking around, looking for his next thing he can do. And he goes, ah! And he kind of yells behind him. And coming out from their hiding places
Oh shit!
are 2 more. And they get to charge up and attack. So, this one will attack Shadrach, and this one will attack Reginald from the flank. Does either of you wish to turn and face your opponent? If you turn, Reginald, you will be subject to an attack of opportunity. If Shadrach turns, you will be subject to an attack of opportunity. So, does either one of you want to do that?
I do turn.
Okay. So you will now face the one that moved up, and then the one that you turn and now is on your flank. He gets a free slash, chopping action with his caveman axe. And using the blue die, he rolls and hits an armor class of -1
Oh shit!
Good hit.
for
Pictures on Jib Jab.
5 points of damage, and you need to save versus paralyzation. Oh wait, I didn't roll that yet. Hold on. Sorry. No. Okay. So, and then the
No
one,
save.
yeah, you no knockdown chance, and then that one that moves up, he gets to attack you, but without just at regular chances. And he hits an armor class of fucking 11. That's a miss.
Thank goodness.
And then the claw attack on you, Reginald. He hits an armor class of -4.
That's a hit.
And with the claw, he does a whopping 2 points of damage. And no chance of knockdown because the claw is only a D4. And then the one that took the free attack on Reginald for the thing, he will
Evaporate?
he will attempt to grapple COVID. He is going to attempt to overbear you. So, he needs to be able to get in your square.
Oh, that's the one that was a hit for. Okay.
He rolls a natural 20. We explode. Hits an armor class of 0. And what you don't get on this is you don't get your dex. So what is your armor class without your dexterity?
-1.
Okay. So he enters your square. Now with a overbear, it's a straight opposed strength roll. So roll strength check. Oh, he rolled terrible.
I rolled 14.
All right, yeah. So he kind of gets ready, and then you basically just shove him back, and you both remain in your squares.
Okay.
And then this one here is going to take a back chop on Shadrach because he didn't say he turned. And if he hits, it ruins the spell. And with +2, he still probably missed. Armor class of 10. He misses. But he gets his claw attack. And he rolls even worse. So these guys are fucking just like, this one here did some dankus on Reggie, but then this one's like, and COVID goes, no, and then this one comes in and swings, and Shadrach barely knows he's there, and he just manages to, like, it doesn't, he misses you completely, doesn't even hit your armor, cloak, or nothing, and then with a claw attack, he just takes the back of his hand and goes, whoop, 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 under your chin, and you're like, get out of here. And you smack his hand away. All right. So now we go to COVID, because I think yours is...
Speed factor 3.
Okay. And you said attack, so who are you
attack,
attacking?
so you want to take... I get one this turn, one next phase, or...
Yes.
Okay. Well, the guy in front of me, the only guy that's actually dealing with me.
Okay.
Ooh, natural 20.
Explode!
I think we need it. 15, which is armor class -10.
Roll damage and add 1.
Okay. $11 points of damage.
Yep, that's just enough. How would you like to dispatch this individual?
Blade went right into his mouth, right up into his brain. Pulled it out, little bit of brain matter all over the end of the blade, and he drops like a lump of rocks right in this place.
He does. Okay. We now go to average, and COVID could get a second attack.
Can I move 5 feet and get the guy over on Shadrach?
You can.
Okay. Ooh, 8. Armor class 8.
Armor class 8 is a miss. I'm sorry. This time you move just past Shadrach, and you think that you're going to be able to get this guy on his side, and you go do first slash, and he like literally is able to take his uncivilized stone weapon and block your weapon and come back into a square.
What happens when you roll 2?
And Shadrach's turn.
Yes, let's go.
Can't hear you.
I reach out and touch Reginald. I cast my spell, Cure Light Wounds.
Reginald is not within melee for you.
Any longer.
He's not close enough for me to reach him?
Well, if you move, you can't move and cast the spell. You have to hold still while you're casting.
You're like 5 feet away.
So
But I can cast my spell and then move?
hold on. Hold on. I might give you the benefit of a thing. So hold on here.
Because I was already trying to do that, you know. I mean, that was my intention.
Yeah, but then he moved when he changed face because of the...
I get that. I mean, that happens. All right.
Battlefield change.
I got a free shot at it. If the dude missed me, I'll take it.
Okay, so here's what happens. You move 1 square, because you're allowed to do that with your action, and then you reach out and try to touch Reginald.
Calling, I say, Mother Skell, restore his strength in this moment of crisis. And I reach out, and I have a sprig of mistletoe in my hand.
I reach out my hand, if I'm able.
You are not able.
If he's engaged, I'm just reaching to touch him. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You said I had to hit armor class 10.
Hold on, let me read you the exact thing, because I wrote this down. At least I think I did.
Oh, you probably did. Sure did first time this time.
Because you did say I had to hit armor class 10, basically. It's a touch attack. I'm not trying to like penetrate his armor or anything. If it's an attack, even.
You're flanking me, so you should be +1.
Actually, he's right behind you almost. You see your back square more than anything.
Sneak
I
attack.
got you from the rear.
Am I surprised?
He's gonna heal you up the ass. Oh,
I am a proctologist.
Maybe it's in. But just go ahead and roll. If it's not even close, it won't matter. But just roll to hit.
Alright.
You're using your melee attack on the left of your.
Alright, I rolled a 17, so I'm pretty sure I touched him.
what's your melee attack of? Your melee attack of.
That would have hit armor class 1.
Your melee attack of, not your regular attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, 18 is my melee attack.
All right, yeah. So you're able to successfully touch him, and your touch attack spell.
You feel a tingle, I guess, on your back shoulder, the back of your neck where I touch you, and you get 5 points.
Whoa, praise be to Aslot. Hey, man.
Okay, willing targets.
Nice one,
Just so you know in the future, willing targets. When attempting to cast a spell on a willing target, the casting is automatic as long as both characters are not engaged in combat. If the recipient of the spell attempts to do anything besides waiting for the spell to take effect, an attack roll against armor class 10 must be made. However, no armor class modifiers for dexterity are applied since the target is not trying to avoid the spell. Okay, so there you go.
That makes perfect sense.
Awesome.
I hope that helped you. You got whacked a couple times, didn't you?
Thank you, Shadrach.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I think that is the end of the round. And all right. Reggie, theoretically, you could attempt to move, but you would be subject to an attack of opportunity, and everyone else is moved. Nothing? Okay, then we'll go to round 3. Actions. Reginald, you got one guy right in front of you, and you're facing off against him. And then COVID, you're facing off with this guy, I'm guessing. Okay.
Yeah, Reginald.
And then Shadrach, you're in between your
Shadrach
friends with a dead creature at your feet, and you have an action.
I will move to strike the one attacking Reginald.
Okay. And I think Reginald's turn to roll initiative this time.
Correct.
Beat a 4.
72. 8.
All right, the creatures get to go, and they appear to be hanging in there. They thought about leaving, but apparently not. So the one on Reginald, the first strike with the axe. He hits an armor class of -3.
-3, wow.
Reginald, you take 5 points of dinkus and nothing else. And then the claw attack hits an armor class of 11. That's a miss, of course. And then the one on COVID hits an armor class of -3. Miss. And then armor class of 0. All right. Reginald, you're first. You have the lowest.
All right. I wield my dagger deftly and slip under his arm with the armor class of 2.
As a hit, roll dinkus.
These are large creatures, correct?
I've been rolling them as medium.
Oh, well then I
Yeah,
get
that's what I thought. Sean, you made it sound like they were big.
I get a D4.
I said they're larger than our figures, but I asked Kyle, are they considered large or normal, and you never answered. But 2 points.
Damage.
All right. You stick him right in his gut, and you just kind of slash, and leaves a little trail, and a little blood starts to seep through his fur, and it's like. Argh! All right, COVID, you're up.
If I want to do a call shot, can I wait till next round, or did I have to announce it?
No,
It's still an attack, so I can
Yeah.
decide to do it now, right? Well, I'm gonna Wait till the next phase so I can
phase.
call chat.
Okay. All right. Shadrach, you said you were going to move. Would you like to move through difficult terrain over the dead creature, or just go to the side of Reginald that's open?
I'll go to the side of Reginald that's open.
And you do that very easily, and you roll the hit. You're up.
I hit armor class 6.
Ooh, okay. You actually hit him, but his tough hide provides just enough protection to where your weapon glances off and a little bit of fur flies up, and you can see now on his claw arm where you shaved his forearm. He's like, "Huh?" All
I
right.
scimitar.
Now, COVID, what is your,
A quick slash across the eyes from left to
You're
right.
doing a called shot on the eyes. Are you trying to hit both eyes?
Look, a slash. Like,
All 5.
So both
so,
eyes.
I don't know if that. I mean, it's not different. It's no more difficult, is it? A slash across the eyes.
Of course it is.
So it's gonna be more than -4.
Yes, it will be. Yes, because
It's
you're
harder to
doing,
hit one eye than 2.
well, for the purposes of the game,
How much-
no,
And you can splash across their face and just go like that. So
How
because
much
you're trying to hit two things.
How much more difficult?
2,
So I did -6. Huh?
correct. That's for both. Now you can hit just one. Obviously, the difference would be if he hits, he could blind him versus just having one eye blind. That's why it's more difficult.
Okay. If I take my 6 out, that leaves me with 11. That leaves me. I hit a -1. All
Okay.
shot, both eyes, slash across the
Okay,
eyes.
so roll again.
The 20.
Yep.
What do you want me to tell you?
What armor class you hit?
0 this time.
Okay, and without the minus.
Oh, without the minus? Oh, a whole lot better.
-6?
-6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you strike your target, and that would go to a critical. And so, first of all, roll the weapon damage only.
Oh. 5.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. And add your whatever other bonus, whatever your other. So, what's your damage total if it's a normal hit?
12.
12, okay. Nice. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So, COVID. The creature goes to move to the right. COVID takes his shield and kind of bashes down and blocks the weapon away, and then with his gladius comes across and gets the fucker right on the bridge of the nose, and you hear this sickening as the blade like sticks in the guy's fucking face, and then it's like he yanks once and it pulls his head forward, and he's going ah, and you yank again and blood flies out and there's goo and jam and he fucking falls over, and he is apparently dead. And that leaves that guy. Okay. And okay. All right.
I like the figures.
That's the end of the round. Theoretically, COVID and Reginald could take a half move.
Can I withdraw?
No, because that is
Full action.
yeah. So you would be
I'll stay
subjecting
with
yourself to an attack of opportunity.
Can I get alongside him?
There's rough terrain here, and so for you to be there, that would be difficult.
I mean, is there enough for me to go around it with a half move? My move is 16.
You have your laser pointer. Tell me where you want to go.
Either side of him, whichever is shorter, if I can make it there. I mean,
You just have to tell me which way you want to go, and we'll count it out.
all right, this side of him.
Okay.
Flank. Either left or right flank.
1,
Shorter.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's where I want to go.
All right. And that is the end of the round. Next round, actions. Reginald,
Attacking.
Colvin,
Attack.
Shadrach.
He said attack.
All right. Roll initiative.
Who?
Vito, you.
A 3.
A 3.
What'd you
Okay.
get? You didn't announce it.
All right. My side is sped up. I rolled a 1.
Shit.
All right. So this guy is.
Hey, you big dummy! Right here. Gonna kill you. See your friend?
He doesn't
Spit in his face.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to understand your language, but he will withdraw without provoking attacks of opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Then that is his turn. So theoretically, any of you could go, but if you want to still go by weapon speed, Reginald, you would go first.
I'm going to let him walk away.
Reginald, you want me to take him?
That's up to you, partner.
Say the word. He could ambush
Well,
the
that's
next
enough
person.
conversation. Okay, and then I think the Gladius would be next at 3.
I'm gonna finish the battle.
Okay. So you will approach.
Well, attack when it's my turn. Is it my
1,
turn?
yep.
Oh, okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
An attack?
Yep.
This is the double round. $13, which is -3.
That's a hit. Roll digits.
10.
10 points of dinkus. You come up and slash him on his left shoulder as he's stumbling.
Can I call shot my next attack when my
You
next
sure
phase
can.
I'm waiting around? It still makes me go next anyway, doesn't it? Because he's already went, or has he? Can he change since he withdrew? Can he still possibly go? No, only if he
you're
had
not familiar with every ability any creature
No,
has.
I'm
so
just general
I
comment.
can't answer that, but I would
Alright.
say if everything was normal, then yes, he would be finished. Shadrach, your turn. Can't hear you.
Still can't hear you. He repeats it.
I'm going to take the most opportunistic slash I can at this critter.
Well, you'll have to move up and attack.
He moved away. Can you see that? He like 8 squares.
Yeah, I saw that they moved up. I will move up and slash.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's half your movement? What's half your movement? You might
My
not.
movement is 12, so 6, yeah.
Okay, so that's all. That's as far as you can get. If you were to charge, you couldn't attack because you wouldn't be moving in a straight line. So that's just as far as you can get on this phase.
You could have stayed there in 10.
Okay.
No, never mind. You're right. Not gonna let him go back.
All right.
Okay.
COVID second attack.
So I'd wait till the next phase.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
And what is your target?
It's going to be I have a piercing weapon. It's going to be a piercing heart pierce. Right through the heart.
Chest. Okay.
Chest.
Roll to hit.
This is normal -4, right?
Correct.
Oh, yes. It's a 15, so -4 is 11. That's a -1 again.
That's what you got last time. All right, roll again.
Well, I had rolled different numbers, but yeah. Oh, that's... It is a 16, so it is a -6. Right?
I don't know what your...
It's
I don't know off
same
the
thing
top of my head what your THAC0 is.
10.
Okay, then yes, that would be a
It's
minus.
the same thing I rolled last time. It was 16 on my second
And
roll.
so, roll your weapon. Roll your dinkus.
Want me to add the thing into it again, too?
Just just give me your normal total, I guess.
9.
Okay. So,
And I have anatomy. No, I don't have to occur. But I know
Okay.
where to kill somebody at.
so, describe your coup de grace.
He moves back. I immediately pursue. Just as I'm reaching him, as my short sword is extended forward, piercing right through his rough hide into his heart. You see a little burst of blood as it goes in. The creature stops. As it seems like an eternity happens, as I then pull the dagger straight back out, the creature's heart just explodes from that hole outward all over me. And he just, again, drops like a pile of rocks right to the ground.
And he is slain. And for the time being, as you look around for more threats, you don't see anything, but there is a very angry bird looking at you from 20 feet away. And then it flies away.
Is it the red one or the white?
It's just a sparrow, and it's like, fuckers. Ah! And that's it.
Can I attend Reginald's wounds with first aid?
You can certainly try.
I'm going to go ahead and search there, whatever they're wearing, just see if they got anything of interest or something.
You know what, Shad?
Whatever.
When I was packing up my things, I found the healer's kit that you gave me to hold on to, and I'm going to give it back to you now. So put it on your inventory because I'm erasing.
All right, well, that goes in my bag then.
All right, and
Thank you, sir.
is this within 1 round of someone being injured? Reginald, did you take damage last round?
No, it backed away.
Okay.
Well, that was... I thought that was this round. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Because
It was.
It's the same round that I stepped forward and killed it.
The character
Oh, okay,
tends
yeah.
another.
So
If the
last
character tends another within 1 round of wounding.
But with the round before it moved away would have been last round.
I got hit for 5 right after the heal spell. So if
Yeah.
So you're
I
dead.
don't know if that was 2 rounds back or just 1.
That was...
That was just 1 round before that.
Yeah, that was the round before it moved away, because the round moved away is the same round that I moved forward and killed it.
It was like, yeah, right after I healed you, you took 5 points.
Okay, so here's the way I see it. Reginald got hit, and then that round ended, and then the next round, the creature withdrew, and 2 characters went after it, and then now we're the next round, which means, Shadrach, when you get up there, you can certainly do a healing check, but
Okay.
it won't provide the D3 of points.
It would have had to have been done in the round that I went up and
Yeah.
killed. I got
It's
it.
just
I'll still
at
keep
the
my
round.
That's it. That's
What I say is the round after
right.
the
I got
last wound is when you got to do it.
it. Right. That would have been the round that
Or
I would have killed it, not
whatever.
after it's dead, because then it would have been a new round. I got you.
Okay.
I'll just check to see how bad I think he's hurt.
Okay, so you don't have to roll. You realize that his wounds are not mortal. You realize that they just need some cuts and scrapes. He didn't take anything super serious.
Didn't get any major
I
pain.
think I'll bind them.
So that you can just do that without rolling.
All right.
If you want to do anything else, you can.
Damn it, Reginald.
Okay. So as your guys come down from the fight and whatever might have caused these creatures to attack you in the woods, You search them. They don't really have much. They've got these like reed woven kilts that cover their furry junk.
What color's their skin?
But you know what? There might be something. So let me just find out. There might be something.
I'll send the picture to you on the thing.
As soon as I get the right.
Yeah, I want to see what these are. I want to see what this looks like.
As soon as I get the right
The one
thing
you
here.
sent was pretty good.
Well, I'm
Real
gonna
clear.
send you just a single shot of. Problem with my position over here, I got no direct lighting.
What the hell? What the hell are these things? Unless they're big dumb hobgoblins, that's all I can think of.
I don't know what they are. Bears carrying axes.
Yeah, it might only get to be a big dumb hobgoblin.
Those cracking trees about scared the shit out of me, and it must have scared these guys too. Jumped them up out of there where they were hiding.
Well, I was startled myself. I was enjoying the scenery, and then that happened.
See, it's a good thing we prepared ourselves. I'm glad I put them on.
Swing around my sword and touch you. That's about it.
Thank you for the blessing.
Oh,
Woo.
I knew I had the wrong fucking thing.
All this for a horse.
Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for. Okay.
What the heck is that? What the heck is that?
Where?
Me.
I have no idea.
There's the.
Yeah, but I'm perplexed that this is. They have blood.
I've never seen this before, so I don't know.
Hold on here. There might be something.
Look at the weapon. That's a very
Do
crude
I
weapon.
see anything that might be slavish on them? I mean, that would make me think they might be slave of anything? I don't know.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Check them for marks or tattoos.
I mean, fur, humanoids with long, shaggy white hair covering their entire bodies.
White? Wow.
Yeah, it almost looks gray, but it's more their skin might be grayish and their hair is whitish, so it gives it a.
Okay, here we go. Okay, first thing. Is that right? Okay. Roll. That's not right. Okay. Roll me a d4.
3.
And roll a d3. Should be a bit, yeah.
3.
And okay, so amongst the three of them, you scavenge 30 copper coins and 30 silver coins.
Hey Reginald, do you think that church, the monastery accepts donations?
They have told me they don't accept monetary donations.
Oh. Well, I pick up the 30 silver and we'll figure out something to do with silver. I don't mess with anything else. They don't have anything else of value on them, just 30 silver.
Unless you want their
I'll
pouches.
my backpack.
Oh, hey, there's pouches. You want a pouch?
that had the coins in them. So
Did they have a water skin or anything like that by chance? You know,
No.
I'll take the cop with
They,
anybody else before.
they don't have anything which would indicate that they're going on a long journey.
man, you know, these guys almost look tribal to me. Right? Would I say that'd be correct? Wouldn't it?
I can't. I mean,
I think
I've
they
described them, so
look tribal.
I don't know.
There's probably many more of them. At the very least, women and children of their type, somewhere in the vicinity, I would think. They're not geared for travel, so
Yeah.
they're not far
Yeah,
from
no,
where they
yeah.
live, wherever
hope
that
that-
is.
We just killed 3 of them.
Well, they attacked us.
Well, that seems to be true. I think we kind of surprised each other, and we may have startled them more than anything. But
Look like
you're
wild
right.
creatures to me.
They don't, I've never seen anything like these before.
Are we on the road, on the path, or off? The
Sure, you can be wherever you want. There is a path there, but you don't have to be on it if you don't want.
Are we going to continue?
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
to the farm.
What are we going to do with these bodies? Just
Chan-
leave them here?
Chances are the silver probably came out of some other traveler's pocket anyway. We could drag it into the wood line if you want. I'm sure they'll still be laying here rotting when we come
Get
back.
them out of the way. And let's just at least get them out of the way.
I grab one by the arm and start pulling into the woods on the side it came out of,
Okay.
with my sword out in the other hand, waiting to see whatever's going to jump me from the wood line.
You set your shield down and.
Yes.
Okay.
If nothing happens, I go grab another one. I'll do all 3. It's not a problem.
Okay, so you guys move the bodies off the road,
Yeah.
and how far back
And I
into
will
the forest
10
do
feet
you
in,
go?
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
side by side, feet facing the road.
Mother Skell, take these dead into your womb and bring them back in a better form.
If the other 2's eyes aren't shut, I shut them.
Okay. All right.
I'll touch Covidius' shoulder and say, "Worms gotta eat just like the buzzards."
And I walk back on the road, and I get my water skin out, and I douse the front of me down just to get the blood that splattered on me up to drip off.
Okay.
And then,
Well spilled, my friend. Well spilled.
I would like Shadrach and Covidius to both roll perception checks, please. Or
Was that team 30?
if you have observation, you would roll that.
uh,
That's
Yeah,
a
just a
D30
D30.
plus your intelligence.
31, 15, 16. Nothing spectacular.
What did you get, Shadrach?
26.
Okay. So, as you're situating the bodies as you stated with the feet towards the road.
Well, here's my thing about that. I grab him, I said grab by the arm. I just drag it into the woods and drop it, so the feet are naturally coming behind.
Okay.
I didn't situate them. It's just the way I dragged them.
Okay.
And then to not have to drag over the other one, the next one next to it, the next one next to it. It just happens to be that way.
You notice a just an odd mound of sticks and twigs about 20 feet to your right and further away from the road.
I motioned for these 2 to come over.
What is that?
Hey, be very
Let's
quiet.
get going.
Look, I think that might be their encampment.
When I say mound, I mean like
How big? Car size?
like 3 foot tall and 10 foot around, maybe.
Oh, well, I ain't
Like
fucking
a,
with that.
like a tent, kind of like a nest kind of tent.
It's too small for them to get in, so fuck it. I'm ready to leave. Something else can come out of that.
Covidius. Oh, let's get these horses and be done.
Yeah.
I don't have a good feeling about this.
I'm ready to go.
Reginald, roll me a d10.
No, it gets Reginald.
3.
Alright. Nothing happens because I just had you roll for no reason. You
I-
continue on the journey.
I want to use my Scopasia first. before we
Sure.
leave.
Go right ahead.
21.
Okay. You don't feel like anybody's watching you.
Alright, I'm good to go.
All right. So you continue on being a little more wary and cautious on the journey.
Definitely.
And even though I could ask for marching order,
I'm first.
I don't feel the need to because you make it out of the woods and into cleared pasture land once again. And as you were told, you see the cedar home with the 2 large barns with the low brick fencing. And this must be your destination. And you can walk towards the building or you cannot.
Let's walk towards the building.
We are continuing.
Yeah, let's at least announce ourselves.
Yeah, I let Reginald take the lead here.
Especially since there's like hairy humanoid beasts in the woods.
Okay.
Well, hopefully they take over the farm.
The building
Make the horses cheaper.
is appears to be of a decent size, not a mansion by any stretch, but probably like 20 by 30, and has a chimney that's got a little smoke coming out of it, and stacks of firewood on the side, and looks like lots of buckets and farming implements and things that you would need for. You hear a clanging sound coming from one of the barns, possibly somebody banging on some metal or something, fashioning armor to fight you with or whatever. And
That's it.
you approach the building, and there's a porch with that goes all the way along the length of the front of the building, and there's like a spice or a garden located just to the left with all kinds of plants that you might have already seen and in the monastery's gardens, and there appears to be some tomatoes growing that are starting to take shape, and you hear a dog barking behind the building, and you start to look in the windows, or do you just knock on the door, or do you shout out?
As we approach, I speak loudly, "Greetings inside! Hello, is anyone home?" And I'll approach the door.
From the window, you see a man. He looks at you all, and tell me what you all are wearing again, and what you look like. We'll start
Full
with
adventuring gear. I'm wearing full leather armor with bandolier and daggers and a backpack and a sword belt. And
okay.
I'm waiting.
And Shadrach, you've got on.
I mean, yeah, you've seen the drawings I've done. That's basically what I look like, and I've got a
Cloak
scimitar in my scabbard on my hip. That's it. And a purse. I got a purse and a scimitar.
Okay. And,
I look like a hippie. Yeah.
and you're wearing your armor,
Wearing
got
my
your shield.
my banded mail, and got a couple weapons, my big shield, and of course written on the front of my shield says we're gonna murder you. So we're ready to go.
All right.
Greetings. Is this Smith's farm?
The door, from behind the door you hear, "Yeah, this is the Smith's farm. Who are you? What's your business?"
Just traveling from the monastery. Look, I heard that you had some horses for sale.
Who sent you?
The tailor gave me your name.
If you came from the monastery,
Tell them who we are.
answer this. Whenever the monks greet you, what do they say?
Nothing.
You see the peephole in the door open up and somebody looks out. He looks you up and down. What's your business?
Looking to buy some horses, sir, if you have them for sale.
Show me your gold or whatever you plan to trade.
I have a large pouch on my belt that I shake and rattle the coin.
Make me a charisma check with disadvantage.
Well, 3 plus 15 is 18.
Okay. He says, show me the actual coins.
Gladly, sir. And I open it up and reach in and I pull out, let's see, that particular pouch. I do have some gold and some copper, and there's even a silver in there. I have money, sir. Let's see the steeds.
He says,
Kettle Tom said that you were reputable.
He says, you can't be too careful.
I understand.
So you'll forgive me if I make myself comfortable before. He says,
I understand. In fact, we just encountered strange beasts not a half a mile from here. White-haired,
My children?
bear-looking men. Have you seen them?
he says, yes, they've attempted to come here and cause trouble and take livestock, but we've got enough people here to fend them off. And he says, and just so you know what I'm talking about, why don't you take a look to your left, look up on the barn, and then look at the right and look on the top of that barn. And as you look, you see that there's 3 guys with bow and arrows, 3 archers up on the top of each building with their arrows pointed directly at you guys. And though you could attempt to flatten yourself against the wall and use the awning for cover, you realize that they may have set this up to be able to be successful if you're anywhere coming from the front.
They don't bother me. I say out loud, I say, sir, 3 of those beasts you no longer have to worry about. We have dispatched them on the way here.
He says, I heard the guy talking there. And he says,
Have you heard of the good deeds done recently for the monastery and the lands about? The dispatchment of the evil Zonigan and all its minions? Has it reached you here?
oh, we heard something of the sort, but, you know,
We are those that dispatch that evil.
sounds like a pretty handy cover story. Make a charisma check with disadvantage.
There it's going to be 18.
He says,
Low one.
Okay, idiots, there's no need to brag about past deeds. The man is just protecting his own. Perfectly understandable, Stiff.
he says, it looks like you got coin. You look like a lost band. I can see you got blood on you, so I'm willing to believe you about the story because seeing the Quaggoths is not a typical thing. They don't normally attack travelers.
Quaggoth.
So there must be something going on that got them riled up. And that means if you defeated them, either you caught one or you all are pretty tough. So
I fear we startled them as much as they startled us.
3 of them jumped us, but
if you can, we can approach this one of 2 ways. We can do it the civilized way, where me and a bunch of my farmhands come out and we talk in the open, and you can keep all of your things. And then if you want to try to start anything there, we'll just let that play out. Or you can leave all of your possessions on the porch, and I invite you in, and hopefully you'll tell me exactly what happened, or what you know about this story that's come to our ears about what happened recently. Your choice.
Well,
Your choice.
I think that we can do this in a civilized fashion. If you want to come out here and speak in the open and we can talk business, I'm completely open to that.
What
I'm
about?
not threatened, sir.
Are you a spellcaster? He's talking to you, Shadrach.
I am a priest of the woods, if that is the term you used. I only ask that I keep my bag. You may take my weapon. I have no problem with that. I'm here to buy a mule. I'm here to buy a mule. That's the only reason I came here.
He says,
I don't understand what you're doing right now, but I just would like to buy a nice sturdy mule. Thank you.
if you can't understand a man trying to protect his home and his family and his business, then you're a dumb son of a bitch. Roll charisma with disadvantage.
take off.
Hold on.
No! No! I rolled a 20, then I rolled a 14.
Total?
Well, no, the 20 was... The total would be 29 for my low one, then the 20 was my good one.
Okay. So he looks at you and he says, spellcasters can do a lot with nothing. You're not dealing with a fool, and the fact that you seem indignant about our security measures makes me not want to trust you. So, if you're not willing to say exactly how you'd like this business to commence, why don't you guys just hold tight then, and we'll meet you out front. And he slides the people closed. Yes?
Did you notice how? Did everybody here notice how well the online hearing them, no background noises, no nothing? It's absolutely perfect. Have you noticed that tonight?
I notice there's not a lot of interference.
I've noticed none from either of you. So there's no background noises, no nothing.
Well, I must say I didn't until you pointed it out, but I think you're correct.
Yeah, it's actually perfect.
No, I never get background noise. It's just me. There's nothing else making noise when I do this.
There's been a little bit of video lag from the table, but it resolves quickly.
Yeah, there's been a couple times when it was like really blurry.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about.
So, as you guys, I guess, are just kind of waiting patiently there on the porch.
Yeah, Shaq, like, I came here to buy a mule.
I know, I thought this was a farm, not a fortress.
What's going on?
The
We came here, it's like there's a fortress going on.
From,
What's going on?
from both sides of the building, you see a guy. It's kind of symmetrical. From each side, there's a guy with 3 dogs on leashes. There's 3 other guys, all with short swords, but no armor and no shields. And then the archers remain on top of the building, and then coming out from the barn on the left, where you heard the clanging sound, you see somebody wearing an apron, holding a hammer. And he's dark, so he looks like he's a smith. And from the right one, you see a guy on a horse come out who's actually got on some chainmail and a longsword and a shield, and he looks like he might have some proficiency with the weapons of war. And then some other guy whose voice, he comes around the left and he's like, alrighty then, how about you all kind of step about 20 feet back there into the yard and we'll have us a talk. My name is, and I wrote the fucking name down here, is Schiff or Spiff. And this is my farm. These are my farm hands and my sons, and let's just keep everything nice and calm, and hopefully you all were telling the truth and we can come to some sort of agreement, and if not, then you best be on your way and save us both some time. So, what can I do you for?
I heard that you had some horses to sell, and that's why I'm here. I'm interested in buying.
Well, you heard correctly, sir. Who am I speaking to?
I am Reginald Xantho. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
And who are your henchmen?
These are my friends, Covidius, and I motion, obviously, to Covidius, and Chicken Crack.
The guy on the horse kind of does he kind of moves like something's spooking the horse, and he kind of keeps it under control. And he says, okay, and well, you heard correctly.
Is this one of yours? It's a fine steed.
Thank you, sir. This particular one, though, isn't for sale. I don't deal with lame or horses that are stretched out or bow-backed or anything like that. I only sell good steeds, good mounts that have treated properly, should last for many years. Obviously, that depends on how hard you treat them, and sometimes some of them just up and die for no reason, but I can guarantee you that your horse with proper care will at least live 1 full year. And if it doesn't, I'll give you your money back or a replacement. But that's with confirmation of our cowboys that, and obviously if you lose a horse in battle, you know, that's not taking care of a horse. If you choose to take your horse into danger, that voids the thing. So, are you still interested?
Well, I'm looking for a solid riding horse that's strong and has good endurance.
Okay. He says, how many horses are you looking to purchase?
I think, Covidius, you want one as well, correct?
Yes, I remember Pick saying that he did not want one, but he can always ride with one of us.
My good man of the woods was hoping that you might have a mule or a pack animal as well.
I would like your finest mule if you have one available.
All right.
I'll pay top point.
He says,
for your finest mule.
says, all right, let me look you up and down. You got what? You just got a dagger there, Reginald?
No, I'm wearing my full adventuring gear.
Oh, okay. So you got your longsword at your side?
Yes, and a bandolier with daggers on my chest, leather armor.
Okay. So he's like, all right. And the other two, he can see that you're ready for war. And he's okay. How about I have some horses brought out here for you to look at?
That'd be fine, sir, if that's the way you want to proceed.
All right.
Sir?
He looks
I'm not
back.
here to do battle, my friend. I'm just protecting myself in these wild woods.
We came here to purchase
I
animals,
respect your
and we were
front
attacked on the way here. kind of a strange situation.
Sir, I don't know a whole lot about horses. I prefer, that's your business. If you'll choose me a fine steed, a fine strong steed. I don't plan on taking it into battle. I plan to use it for travel only. If a battle ensues, I plan to get off the horse, protect the horse, and deal with it up close and personal. So I prefer if you picked. I don't know enough about horses. If you pick me out something good, quality horse, I'll pay for it.
You, as you're speaking, you just happen to glance over, and that guy on the horse that's up wearing the chain and the shield and everything, he's eyeing you up and down, and he has intent that you've seen before. This person, whether they do it or not, they are, for some reason, very suspicious of you, unlike all these other people who are exhibiting their suspicions because of the whatever. This guy is homing in on you. So,
So how much you want for one of your steeds? What's your price?
Let me bring him out and show you one to see if you're even interested. So he whistles back, and the other to the other barn on the right, the one with the guy with the horse, and he says, "Bring out Millie, bring out Sandy, and bring out Monroe." So he kind of whistles in there, and then as these other horses are being escorted out by these teenagers, a couple girls and a boy, the guy there, Spiffy or whatever, he says, "Now try not to look at the people, look at the horses." Yes, Shadrach, you had your hand up?
How far away from me is the guy on horseback?
About 50 feet.
Okay, thank you.
And it's this kind of 60 feet would be the guy, the blacksmith. Both of the barns are about 60 to 70 feet away. And they're flanking and just set a little bit ahead of the house.
Well, I'm going to keep my eye on the guy on horseback because he looks obviously aggressive. Or is there somebody who I've noticed is looking at me more intently than that? Should I roll to look? I'm getting paranoid now.
Why?
Because these people are closing in on us.
Well, so far the only ones that are approaching you are the teenagers leading the horses, and they go.
Those dudes in the room. Yeah, well, Shad is just the guy made Shad nervous all of a sudden. It's like, well, I just came here to buy a horse.
Which is fine. You can think that. I just hope the DM hasn't given you the idea that they're inching closer with their arms out. That's not the situation.
To other group members, Shad appears nervous.
I would say as you start looking at these people, you notice that a couple of the guys with swords have like lessened their aggression. Like they've almost started to like talk amongst themselves, like they're not paying attention. There's a couple though that are like still paying attention, but you know there's a couple of them that are like they got ADD or something. So,
well, if you make eye contact with Shad, he kind of like shrugs his shoulders and like looks a little bit, confused, like what the hell just happened?
But anyway, the horses that are brought out, there's a brown one with like white spots, and then there's one that's mostly white. It's half white and half brown, and then there's a black one, but it's got white legs, and it's just kind of the random horse. And at first glance, they all appear to be normal, strong-looking horses that appear to be not like wild or crazy, like they've probably already been broken. So
I walk up to the black one.
I put my hand on Shadrach's shoulder, and I say, "Settle down. It's okay. There's nothing here to worry about. Even if they were to mean us harm, and I'm saying this under breath, even if they were to mean us harm, they wouldn't last long. There's nothing here to be worried about. Just relax. If you feel better, stand behind me. There's nothing here. Nothing here will harm you. Nothing here is worse. Nothing here is worse than we've dealt with already. Let's just get through this.
Find me a good mule. Give me a good mule, please.
Okay, so Reginald, you approach the black one, and do you have any spell, ability, or knowledge of horses which could give you insight into the quality of such a horse?
I do have land-based riding, and in my background, I rode, I used to take care of the horses as a kid.
Well, let's see if land-based riding gives you any
It does.
any knowledge.
It doesn't give me the knowledge of their health. That would be
I
animal.
have animal handling, Reginald. I have animal handling.
And what does animal handling do?
Well, that allows me at least to handle an animal.
To us. Yes, I know they've done it before, but I'm just going.
I think you have to have animal husbandry to know the quality of an animal.
I'm not telling you can't figure anything out. I'm just seeing if you'll get deeper understanding than an average person. That's all. So animal handling allows you to exercise a greater than normal degree of control over pack animals and beasts of burden. So that wouldn't necessarily give you...
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You have to have animal husbandry. It's like, oh, that's a fine cow. I mean, that's animal husbandry. That's a farmer that can look at a horse or look at his teeth and say, that's a good horse. So, animal husbandry.
But anyway, so upon... I'm assuming you're inspecting the horse, Reginald, or did you just want to kiss it?
Looking him over, stroking his neck, seeing his mannerism.
From any horses that you've dealt with in the past, this horse appears to be just as good as any of those. So nothing stands out, either malformed, nor like, is it fucking have shards of lightning flying out of its ass either. So
Are the horses saddled with any tack?
no. They have a rope around their neck. And a bit in their mouth.
Bridle, bit and bridle. Okay.
Okay, so that's, and they're just kind of standing by patiently, and then as you kind of give it the look and then you stop looking, the guy comes over and he's like, well, if you're going to do something, do it now, otherwise I'm going to start talking about horses, and then you guys are either going to fucking fall asleep or you're going to buy these motherfuckers. So
what's your price? They look like healthy animals,
he's
well
like,
taken
hold
care
on
of.
now, let me explain to you why these are magnificent steeds. And without me going into a monologue, this spiff, he decides he is going to reveal why this horse is great and how it was raised and how it's been taken care of. So this guy is a specialist and all of the knowledge that comes with it. And by the time he's done talking, you're like thinking to yourself, hey, as long as this motherfucker can get me to where I'm going, I don't need to know that it was fed with certain kinds of things and was walked so much a day and was brushed so much a day. And he asks if you know how to take care of an animal, and if you have land-based riding, I'm going to say that you can do the rudimentary brushing and that sort of thing. Obviously, if you were a groom, then you would have that skill with the animal where you could get even more insight into the status of an animal, but none of you are grooms. Or have
Would animal handling be more towards that end?
No. A little, maybe a little, but nothing like somebody who's just worked with animals. That's their job. It's like a car mechanic. They know how to fix a fucking car. Where those of you that haven't been trained are like, well, I know that the car starts and it drives me places and I gotta put gas in it. That's the equivalent. So you've done that. Anything else from anybody else?
I wait for somebody to tell me that this is a good horse to buy, and there he is. I don't have the ability to decide any of that.
So, do any of these horses interest you all?
I like this black steed with the white legs.
Okay. That's Monroe.
Monroe.
Obviously, you can call it whatever you want, but we call them Monroe. So just the one today.
Oh, I would like one, sir.
Okay, which one?
They both carry the same amount of weight.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't actually know what their limit would be, but I know they can carry you plus
Let's say-
all the gear.
Let's say total 300 stone. Would that be an issue for a horse?
I don't know what 300 stone
Well,
is.
what's the measurement here? I'm just going with not saying pounds. The pounds?
Yeah.
300 pounds. Would that be an issue for a horse?
No.
Okay. Well, then I'm good with whatever you decide, sir.
But since you've asked, he says, these horses, and I should be able to tell you because it may come up and it doesn't hurt to know. These horses, these horses,
I got my player's handbook on the podium here.
hey, that's cool.
You're
That's
such
cool.
a dork.
I either want a mule or a draft horse.
Okay, so one of them goes and
You're getting a miniature
gets
pony.
you a mule.
I'll take a
Why?
miniature donkey.
Shedrick, why do you want a mule instead of a horse? I just curious. What does it matter to you? It's the same, slavery of an animal. Why does it matter which one you get? Why wouldn't you get a horse to keep up with everything else?
I like mules. They're more sure-footed and they don't spook as easy.
You've owned them before?
I've known mules before. I mean, they're an animal I prefer. Horses are skittish. Horses are strange.
I would think a mule would be
How many
more.
mules have you talked to?
A mule would be talk to. Oh, none. I would think a mule would be more likely to want to do what it wants to do.
All
when it wants
right,
to do it,
so-
instead of what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it.
Another matter where quality is important is in horse flesh. There's a world of difference between a high-spirited stallion and a broken-down nag, and it is not always apparent to the eye, although it is usually pretty easy to tell a scrawny, sway-backed old mare from a fiery stallion. The buying of a horse is something the player characters should always approach with care, lest some unscrupulous horse merchant pull a fast one on them. Furthermore, horses often have irritating traits that can make them less than pleasant to be around. Table 25 lists the different qualities of horses and the effects of each. Note that not all horses need to be assigned a quality. For simplicity, you can assume all horses are of average quality. So,
What's the age of these horses? The other two?
they're 1 year old.
What were the colors of the two?
Brown and white.
I mean, if you say they're the same, sir, I'll take the brown and white.
All right. I'm just looking for carrying capacity. I know that's somewhere. Okay, so he is going to tell you the cost.
We were told that you are set on your prices and you don't bargain, and haggling with you will not work.
Well, that's what happens when you're sure. There we go, carrying capacity. Okay. So, horses. For a horse to be unencumbered, these particular horses, 220 pounds is what, at 2/3, it would be up to 330. So, if you need a heavy horse that could carry up to 260,
So 300 pounds is a problem then.
apparently so.
Well, I'm not 300, but I'm 140, and I've got over 100 pounds of gear on me. So that's 240. So I was just rounding up to 230 just in case it's ever an issue. So,
So you would need a heavy horse then if you're planning on carrying all that.
well, that's why I was asking. You got a heavy horse?
And if that's what you're interested in, then you definitely need Monroe. Monroe is the heavy horse. He's the best one.
Hey man, I get dibs.
Millie
Oh, fine. You can carry all the shit.
is the medium horse. And a light riding horse would be whatever fucking name I said that I didn't write down. It was
What?
Monroe and somebody else and somebody else.
Sandy.
That's right.
And I don't remember them.
What did you say the horse could carry up? How many pounds? 330?
Monroe, Sandy,
No,
and
260 for
I
a
don't
heavy.
remember, but
Millie.
we'll just say that's what it was.
Millie, Sandy, and
Okay,
Monroe.
so after talking about this more, we'll just skip ahead. You tell me what kind of horse you want to get.
You got another heavy somewhere in the back? Because he's taking this one.
I mean, if you need a heavy horse, sir, obviously
prefer a
that.
heavy horse,
I mean, he's
obviously.
talking to Reginald. If you
Oh,
need a heavy horse, sir, obviously I'm not going to dissuade you from purchasing that. They are more expensive,
He just likes the color.
so just bear that in mind.
He just likes the color.
It's a war horse, right? It's a heavy riding horse.
Well, any horse theoretically could be a war horse.
Ooh.
But yeah, you would need
Nasty.
one that could withstand, if you were to put barding on it, that would be an issue. Encumbrance and mounts. The base move column in Table 49 lists the maximum amount an animal can carry and maintain its normal movement rate. Animals can be loaded greater than this, up to a maximum of twice their normal load. However, this causes a drop in the animal movement rate. And when calculating a mount's load, be sure to include the weight of the rider.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to encumber a horse on just a standard ride anyway.
So,
No need
let's see if they
Like
have...
Shattered would be alright with the lightest weight creature, because
I need 300 pounds.
Okay, so this
fuck you.
This
I'm
is right out of
300 pounds almost by myself.
this is right out of the book,
One
okay?
equipment, I'm 200 pounds.
Because I'm going book
So I'm
price.
able to carry at least another person.
So, a riding horse costs 75 golden coins. A light war horse or light horse, 150 golden coins. Medium, 225. Heavy, 400.
Ooh,
Well, there's only 3 horses here to choose from, so what 3 do we got?
Donkey. Well, I'm just saying now that you're getting more into what you think in your need, that he's gonna say, okay,
But he only has 3 for sale, correct?
no.
Oh.
He only told you that because he was still thinking about you guys were full of shit. But
Okay.
since you're willing to sit there and listen to everything, he's apparently getting more comfortable.
Alright.
Donkey, mule, or ass is 8 golden coins,
Wow.
and that does not include any equipment. So, you tell me what kind of horse you want to get and pay, and that's the kind you will leave here with.
Please tell me again. What
I will.
the light
Okay,
war
so
horse can do.
the light horse up to 170 at full speed. Medium up to
Yeah.
220 at full speed.
And you're talking pounds.
Yep.
Okay.
Heavy up to 260. And the
I want a
riding
medium.
and the
please.
riding is up to 180.
I want a medium war horse.
And you
then.
said the heavy is 400, is that correct?
I said yes. That's what I seem to remember saying.
I don't think I need a heavy war horse. I'd
There
like
it
it,
is.
but I
Yeah,
don't think I
heavy
need it.
400. Okay,
How much for the heavy war horse?
400 golden coins.
I dumped my pouch out on the ground, which is like 300 gold and 300 silver. Is that enough?
He just kind of looks at you and he's like, I ain't your fucking accountant. Count it your fucking self.
Shedrick, what are you doing?
Buying a war horse.
You don't dump money on the ground.
You not know how to count?
He's civilized,
I wasn't
man.
sure how much I had. This was something that we found.
We'll
I
come
haven't
back.
really counted it out. I'm not really big about money.
Yeah, we'll come back to you after you count it up. Okay, who's next? And you guys have now been here for about 2 hours. So we're at the last. This is the part where you buy or you don't. So you've seen all the horses. You've actually been in the barn and see that it looks like a typical barn with stalls and hay and water troughs outside. So everything appears legit. Go ahead, Daryl.
I don't think I have 400 gold, even though I would like a heavy horse because of its carrying capacity.
Reginald,
The horse, you said was 170. That's not. That can't carry me.
Light.
Reginald,
Well, you know,
I have.
people tend to, if they got a lot of stuff, they tend to put carts on the back of these horses. So I'm not a cartwright or a wagon maker, but I certainly know one and can recommend one if that's something you're interested in. If you're not, if you're not going back to the big city.
When you say the carrying capacity at full speed, if you're not galloping, does the carrying capacity go up? What's the carrying capacity? I don't know if the full speed, you were saying that earlier, but I'm not quite sure. Is that just only when you're running full speed? Or if you only want to go half speed, they can carry up to this much? Because it seems light for a horse to carry only like 150 pounds.
It does. But that's what the book says.
Right, I get it. I understand.
It does seem light though, but
if you're just going to walk places and, the way that this game works is they try to simplify it, so I'm sure if a horse is loaded down, it's not going to be able to move like a free horse. So
Yeah.
I guess let me ask this real quick. What a draft horse, something that pulls a stage or in a line of horses.
the draft horse has the same carrying capacity as the heavy horse.
Okay. That's the same price?
No, it's cheaper.
It is. It's 200 gold.
What's the
Well, say a
difference?
draft horse
I asked
is
him what the
$101.
difference between a
Yeah.
draft horse and your heavy horse, other than the fact that they're the same in capacity. Why couldn't one sell a draft horse?
Well, once a war horse, so it can.
It's not. It's a heavy horse. It's not a war horse. None of them are war horses.
No. The draft horse and the heavy war horse are the same, but the heavy war horse is built for combat. The draft horse is not.
It's not a heavy war horse.
I know
It's-
that.
That's the difference on the pricing, because it's training.
Well, that's why I was asking him what the difference is. Scott's actually looking it up.
Thank you, Daryl.
I think that's explained.
I mean, it's like, yeah.
To train a horse to go in a heavy horse, a heavy
A
horse.
nice war horse is like a big Clydesdale, but is trained to charge and not. Your regular old farm plow pulling horse is going to run as soon as you pull off anything. You smack your hand or anything like that. But a war horse is going to fight. So yeah, there's a big difference.
Sir, have you trained any of these horses to be war horses?
Hold on, one thing at a time.
I just want a plow horse. That's fine.
Plow horse would probably have to be a heavy horse.
And I don't need a heavy war horse. Just like I said, I went
Stop
over
saying
to
war
200
horse. There are only any of these could be war horses if you choose to make it so or trade it so. If I remember what Cobb said first about it. It's one of the first things the guy said. He said if you choose to train it or to make it a war horse or whatever, then that's on you. But any of them could be that. It don't have to be a heavy horse to be a war horse. It only helps with carrying all the barding and stuff, but...
I really don't plan on charging into battle on a horse.
I would like to purchase the light horse.
Yeah, I don't want to encumber a horse every step it takes is why I was looking for a heavy horse. Which, if you say you weigh 300 pounds or whatever, then I understand that too. You definitely
I just want to take me double my weight, 400 pounds. That's what I want.
Well, it's 260 for a heavy horse.
Well,
that's it.
My body weight without any other thing is 188 pounds. I just looked it up. So I'm basically 200
Draft
pounds.
horses are large animals bred to haul very heavy loads and are usually trained to be part of a dray team. Muscular but slow, these ponderous animals haul freight over long distances without complaint and are frequently used by traders. War horses are bred and trained to the lance, spear, and sword. They have higher morale than other horses and are not as skittish about sudden movements and loud noises. Choice of knights and cavalry, these are the pinnacle of military horses. There are 3 varieties. So those riding horses are bred to saddle, perhaps the most common of all horses. They are ridden, worked, and raced by humans and demi-humans alike. So, obviously the difference would be riding horses, and then the 3 versions of war horses, and then the draft. So
the heavy horse is considered a war horse?
Apparently.
So you've trained it, he's trained it for war, not just to be a horse that carries heavier weight down.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, fuck it, I'll take a heavy horse.
Okay.
You said 400 gold.
That sounds correct.
That's what you said for a heavy horse.
Okay.
It's the only price I remember. Because it's the only horse that is closer to what I need.
All right. There it is. Yep. Okay. All right.
Is this what he has to choose from as far as heavy? Do you have any other color variants?
We'll say that this year there is a you can make it whatever color you want. That's fine. The stats won't change.
I'll provide a picture later. If that's
you can,
all right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then if you do that, then he provides you with the horse.
Well, it's a 10 to 1 on silver, right?
It is a lead, which has a thing that go in its mouth and something that attaches to it, so you can.
Does he sell saddles and saddle blankets and all that here, by any chance? I ask.
Not normally. Depends on what you're willing to do to. I mean, we're not in the habit of keeping extra things like that around.
Are you any of your? Well, I don't know how long we plan to be here.
You would be better off going someplace and having a saddle built for you.
Well, I can buy a saddle in town. Do you have an extra blanket you would be willing to get rid of? They apparently are short on blankets in town, or back at the monastery.
Make a charisma check. Let's see.
9 and 11 is 20.
He says, no, unfortunately not.
What if I paid double for it?
No.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, so we have one horse purchased. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So silver would be 70 gold?
Correct.
Alright.
Who's next?
I want the light horse.
Okay. The light one is 150.
Here you go, good sir. And you have no tack, you said.
Just the lead, so you can at least get him somewhere without too much trouble.
Very good. Thank you.
If you want to ride these bareback, you certainly can.
Oh, yes. I know.
And if you're trained in riding horses, you shouldn't really have an issue. It's just going to be less comfortable. And
I'll find a good saddle soon.
And you won't be able to use your feet. Okay, and then what about you, Shadrach?
A fine draft horse and a blanket and a lead if you have it available.
No blankets. 200 golden coins.
Can we lease 2 leads?
I have.
That's
It's 10 silver to 1 gold, right?
correct.
Okay. I count out 300 silver, which is 30 gold, and 170 gold, and give it to them like that.
All right. And you can.
And I apologize to him for my mistaken manners, and I understand now I understand and I apologize.
Well, now that I can see that you all were serious, I think we can all let that go. And I sincerely hope that these horses not only get you to where you need to go, but those of you that are buying the war horses, remember that they are trained to help you, and I hope that you can protect them at some point if you get into danger.
Come on, Smoke.
You
What's my horse? Okay, I'll get to that later. I'm going to talk to my animal. I'll let you know, Cobb, without dragging stuff down, what I'm going to do with the horse.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
going to cast some spells.
so you all are given papers, receipts with Spiff's name on it, and each horse has the mark of Spiff on it on the hindquarter. It's like a it says SPF. It's been branded onto their hindquarters to show that it's his horse. It was, and you have the papers showing that with a description of the horse written down and the size and hands of each horse and the approximate age. And if there's any other distinguishing marks, like the 4 white legs on the one and the half and half on the other, or whatever it is that you want to make your horse look like. So, he says, well, now that our business is concluded, gentlemen, and he kind of points around at everybody, and he's like, puts his hand up and kind of just gently lowers it, and all of the archers leave except one on each one, and they put the arrow down where they're like not pointed, and all the other people leave. He says it would be rude of me not to offer you all something for your journey to whatever it is you're going. And he looks back, and you can see this woman coming out with a basket and another basket, and he says, take these with my compliments, and he hands Reginald a basket and Covidius a basket. And when you look when you look in it, the first basket has 2 big loaves of bread and some other thing that's wrapped up in like a leather thing. And then in the basket that Covidius has, it looks like it's a bunch of fresh eggs laying in a bed of either hay or straw.
Nice. Thank you.
Well, how thoughtful. Thank you.
He says, enjoy them in good health. May the blend watch over you and these horses. May they give you good years of service. And then he walks over to each horse and he says, goodbye, Monroe. Goodbye, Sandy. Goodbye, Millie. Pleasant journey. What do you guys do?
And
How long is it till sundown?
It's not quite noon yet, so at least 5 or 6 hours.
Oh, well, we got plenty of time to get back to the monastery then. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
All right.
Take a quick walk and get to know my new animal.
Yep.
Okay,
I
so
hope they'll bring them in.
do you
I'll cast a spell when I get the chance.
so do you change the names on your animals, or which ones? Who's got what?
I'm calling mine Smoke.
Smoke.
He's black with the white legs.
Okay. What about you, Shadrach?
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. It's a second level spell.
Okay.
As we're walking along, I will do it very casually, calling upon the spirits of the animals and the spirits of Mother Skell, and I will say, "Tell me, what is your name?"
Make me a charisma check with advantage, please.
Oh, 31. That's my big one.
Okay. He says, "My name is Wynnum."
I'm gonna spell that Wynam.
He says, "But I don't have an individual name."
I will call you Wynnum. Were you well treated, Wynnum?
Absolutely, I was well treated.
Tell me what you like. Tell me what is your favorite treat.
It would definitely be apples that I can reach up and pull off the tree.
So be it, Wynnum. I want us to be friends. We'll be friends, Wynnum.
I look forward to that. What is your name?
My name is Shadrach, and I'll be petting him and touching his head, and everybody else will just hear me going.
Shadrach, what are you doing?
I'm talking to my horse. Thank you. His name is Wynnum.
Could you ask mine what his name is and tell him what mine is?
Let me see how long my spell lasts and if I can do it to more than one animal at a time.
A brown horse. That's good videos.
And it's Speak with Animals. It's second level.
As you're thinking about it, Wynnum's like,
They can't speak like you and I can.
I think it's unusual that you would call me by my name. You would call me the name of my species. Why don't I get my own name?
What name would you like me to call you? Were you not given a name by your parents? By your mother?
Strubajin Koskow.
Oh my god.
I will call you Streff. Is that all right?
Yes.
I will call you Streff.
He's got strep. We got COVID.
Whew. Alright, let me find this dang spell. I got like 3 different pages going on here. Okay, Speak with Animals. Yep. I know we laughed for a little bit.
That was nice of those people to give us some food after threatening to kill us for spending money there.
Okay, Speak with Animals. It lasts, for me, it will last 12 rounds, 1 animal within 30 feet. Give me time, Covidius, and I'll speak to your animal. Just give me time. I'm getting used to my own horse.
Hey Daryl, why don't you make a charisma check? Maybe they won't threaten you next time. Oh.
Two. Oh. Now the
Oh,
horse
yes, they
don't-
will.
See, the game's
And
always
at some point,
the game's more fun when you fuck up, I think.
Yeah, we had some good rolls early.
it's also good when we win and have really good kill rolls. That's fun too.
Sure. Okay, so as your spell is running out, Struff's like, so where are we going?
Stay with me. Stay close to me, but don't endanger yourself on my behalf. I'll speak again with you soon, and I think we'll grow closer in our friendship. And I'll text you about the other spells I'm gonna cast, like animal friendship and things like that. So.
Okay, well, you don't have to. You can cast them. You can stop briefly and cast them now if you want.
They take time. Like they're like casting for like familiars and stuff.
You guys
So
do
I want to
that?
do that when we're settled in before we leave. We got a couple days. I'll do it when we get back to the monastery.
What is your guys' intended destination?
Heading back to the monastery.
Okay, well, here we go.
Hey, I sent the picture of my horse, Eclipse, onto the Jib Jab thing.
Nice.
That's a real horse. I looked up some horse pictures. Heavy horse
Yeah.
pictures.
I'm looking up a draft horse right now. Hang
I'll
on.
say it.
'Cause I have an idea what I want mine to look like. So.
So mostly gray, it looks like.
It's a pretty color. And Eclipse sounds like a good name for based on the color.
Is that how when they cut your hair over the internet, you use Eclipse?
Hey, Cobb, where's your Tesla?
Still up at the
Oh,
thing.
you were getting it last Saturday.
Okay, so
Factory.
no, so my money didn't show up when it was supposed to. So I sent an email to my financial guy and said, shouldn't I have my money by now?
Did he wire you back from the
And
island he bought?
His office manager was like, yeah, let me check. And then she called me later and was like, yeah, you didn't mess that up. The people at the financial institution messed up your account. That's why you don't have your money. And I was like, that's great.
Shit.
So I have to wait because that's what happens when somebody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
But since
So I'm here because my roommate accidentally told the people where the apartment here, they have like where you can like prepay the rent. Well, yeah, she prepaid out my whole bank account, which was not the whole rent. But I was like, what? And I couldn't get it back because they don't give it back. And I was like, God damn it.
that's great.
I was very unhappy. The rent's prepaid slightly, and she paid me back some of it. So I mean, that's all I can do.
All right, so who
Yep.
Oh, I know what it was. Okay. Shadrach, roll a d12, please.
A 1!
I need all of you to make charisma checks, please.
Oh boy. I'm gonna get shot with arrows. People are horses.
Shadrach, what'd you get?
22.
COVID, what'd you get?
25.
And Reginald, what'd you get?
18.
Oh God.
Oh no! Well, that was 2 successes though versus 1 failure.
Thank God.
So,
Your horse breaks its leg.
yeah,
Has to be put down.
immediately. All right, so
This is trample us to death.
It's eaten by a wandering monster.
as you guys make it back to where you're entering into the eastern pastures, you can see that there appears to be a lot of smoke coming from the temple.
Oh.
Wait, I hurry my pay.
Yeah, let's go. Run. Run.
So you guys run, and the horses seem to keep up without an issue. They kind of trot along, and when you get up there, you see that there's a fire in the crafting area,
Crafting. Okay.
the market, and there's people that are forming a water line. So they're going to the stream, and they got buckets, and there's like the whole village is out. And
Shadrach, put it out.
I'm casting. Give me a second to look. I think I can do this. All right, let me find the right spell. I got to make sure we're at the right level.
Right up there. Does anybody look like they're
I am
needing to
casting a
pull out?
spell.
okay, so
Casting time 6.
what spell are you casting?
Cloud burst.
And what does that do?
I'm looking it up right now. All right. It's gonna rain on their parade. Hang on. Clear air, clear water, cloud of pestilence. No.
Skip that one.
Cloud burst, level
I
3,
think-
range 10 yards
Here
per
it is.
level.
Okay, you got it.
Components, verbal, somatical material. Area of effect, a 30-foot diameter cylinder up to 60 feet high. This spell precipitates a rush of water out of the air, instantly drenching everything in the area of effect. Normal fires are extinguished. Permanent magical fires go out but relight in 1d2 rounds. The spell has doubled effect in humid climes, causing a heavy dampness. Okay. So, as you guys get up there, you can see there's a fire. Apparently,
The cloakmaker shop.
something happened at the forge, and it's like the back of the building there's a little bit of fire coming off the top. So, Shadrach, when you cast the spell, what's your target?
Directly above where the fire is. So basically, yeah, right on top of where the fire is. So if I'm looking at this right, I should get, let's see here, 30-foot diameter cylinder up to 60 feet. So basically, yeah, targeting on the 30 feet, just right on top of the fire. Raising both my hands up to the sky, saying, "Spirits of the wind, spirits of the rain, cast down upon this flame and extinguish it."
And what do you use for your material component? It doesn't actually say, so
I know
you need to pick
what
something.
I would do. Shadrach, in this particular instance, as you've seen him do with water spells before, he spits into his hands and claps his hands and holds them up and blows the wind, and therefore the rain comes down.
Okay, we're going to do an opposed fire roll. So, I'm going to roll a d20, and you're going to roll a d20. And let's hope that you get a favorable result.
I rolled a 3, and I would like to take a re-roll.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You will, before you roll, pick that up. Before you roll, I would like you to roll a spellcraft.
That's plus my intelligence?
It should say the number spellcraft next to your
Oh,
non-weapon
that's right.
proficiency.
Yes. Okay, I see. Okay, I got it. I got 29.
Okay, so add 4 to your roll. Your total, I should say.
This is my second. This is my reroll. Okay.
Yes.
I got +4 is a 20, so I got 16 plus 4.
Well, look at that. So you cast the spell, and I rolled pretty doggone high. So the roof starts to collapse, but using your spellcraft, in combination with your spell, you manage to gauge just where you want to put it, and you do the gesture that you said, and you speak the words that you said, and this huge amount of water suddenly appears and douses the flames, and apparently you have been successful in putting out the fire and making it manageable, and everyone's like, what the hell happened? And they look around, and as you guys run on, it's like, that guy that was sleeping in the woods, he did it.
Shadrach!
And the
Well
crowd,
done, sir.
the crowd's like, yay, and the blacksmith comes out, and he's all wet, but he comes around and looks at you, and he's like, thank you so much, and he tries to give you a hug.
I'll hug him. That's fine.
Okay.
Is anybody hurt? Is
No.
anybody hurt?
He's like, no one was around. I just slipped in dog piss and kicked over the fucking coals. I hate it when that happens.
I look back at Covinius and Reginald and say, I was thinking of Latonius. He started that fire before. I was thinking the words.
Pretty sure he's dead.
Oh.
And
Well, there could have been others.
From what you've explained to me.
so you managed to avert disaster with your quick thinking. And that seems like a good place to stop for the evening.
I hope my horse was impressed.
Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, he looks sad. You know why he looks sad, right? Because he's got the long face, yeah. How do you not know that? I should deduct points for that one.
I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear it. I wanted to
Okay.
hear it.
All
I
right.
heard about the guy at the bar, I'm sure.
What happened to the guy at the bar?
Well, he walks into the bar, and the bartender's looking at the other guy at the bar, and he says, you want another drink, jackass? The guy nods, and he slides him a drink. He says, what the fuck? Dude slams it. He says, you want another drink, jackass? What the fuck, man? He goes, why you putting up with that? And the guy looks over at him and says, he always calls me that.
Hey, you know what happens when a rogue, a druid, and a fighter walk into a bar?
They get drunk.
Oh, you thought one of them would have seen it.
All right. Any parting shots?
Good seeing you guys. Take it easy.
All righty. We'll catch you next week. I can get there.
Ugh. Looks like you got some cat puke over here.
Yeah, it's fucking fucked up cat. Fucked up cat. It's a puker. Alright, come on.
See you later, Cup.
Yep. Oh, do you want that, do you want that,
Yeah, you have to tell me, well,
Okay.
Maybe.
Alright. No, I'll help you. Just let me shut all this off.
Alright. Let me just